All right. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think I low key have a slight addiction to Dune or a slight obsession. Bro, I can't even. Dude 2 or part 2 was so heat. This is not. I don't even know why I'm starting the podcast like this. Anyways, we'll get into it because we got some Dune talk later. But I'll get into it. But I'm low key obsessed with Dune, bro. I went and listened to the soundtrack or the score by Hans Zimmerman, quote unquote. Um, yeah, I think I low key have an obsession. That's how I know I'm in too deep when I go and listen to like the score. But anyways, welcome to What Did I Miss podcast with Dennis Styles. On this show, I'll be covering all the stuff not on my main YouTube channel at DS2 Smooth, links below. From movies and game reviews to movie and gaming news to anime, comic books, and anything else I feel like yapping about. Episodes drop weekly. Yeah, like I said, I have a session obsession with Dune right now. But this week, I don't know why I keep saying that. Anyways, this week we have a surprising shortage on comic book movie news, which is fine for me. Shorter show, less editing. But yeah, but there's some still some stuff, but yeah, surprising shortage. But there's a few trailers we got to get into. They've dropped the so I talked about it before. I think it was just a teaser, but I could swear it was like a minute long. But they dropped like a full Fallout trailer for the show that's coming on Amazon Prime, based off the game series by Bethesda Fallout Games. But yeah, this trailer's like 3 minutes or something like that. But yeah, we'll get into that. And then we have the late night with the devil, which is a scary movie, which I'm not really into scary movies too much, but this looks really interesting. I talked about it before. Again, there's like a little teaser. It has what was his name, David Doshleman or something. He was in the Suicide Squad, played Polka Dot Man, in various other things. Very, very good actor. I mean, more recently was in not more recently, but he was in Dune Part One. But yeah, like I said, super talented actor, and it's a very interesting premise. So I'm excited to get into that. We got a full trailer because the teaser was very light on details, so I was like, okay, but visually it looked interesting off the teaser. And then the last trailer or the last like movie trailer thing that we're getting into is an live action adaptation of the anime Parasyte from coming to Netflix. And so, yeah, if you've been listening to the show, you know how I feel about live action adaptations for the most part. But I feel like there's something with this one going into from anime to live action. But I'll get into that. And on the gaming side of things, it's pretty jam packed. This week we have some interesting to annoying things to get into, like a Dune game coming soon. Excited to talk about that. I've been really diving in deep on the information, like finding out and consuming information on that, which I usually don't do. So that just plays into my obsession with Dune that I was just talking about. And then we have a new Titanfall game apparently in the works, which is very, very interesting. Some disappointing things about it, but nonetheless interesting. So excited to get into that. And on the annoying side of that interesting to annoying set of things, Warner Bros is focusing on live service to free to play games after the recent flop of the Suicide Squad. So yeah, shake my head on that. We'll be getting to it. And then this week, sadly, Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball and various other mangas. He passed away this week, so very, very unfortunate. It's affected a lot of people. A lot of a lot of people grew up with Dragon Ball, everything like that, but not even just like readers and watchers, but just people in the industry in the world. A lot of people are affected by this. So this week I just wanted to, I guess, celebrate his work and stuff and just talk about his impact on the world and other things like that, and his impact on my own personal life. And so I'll just be talking about everything Dragon Ball. um this kind of like so yeah, that's what will be the main topic this week. So excited to get in that and celebrate his work because Dragon Ball's been part of my life since I've literally been able to consume media. Like, Dragon Ball has been around. So there will be time codes below, so feel free to jump around to whatever part you want to. um yeah, so what did I miss last week? So I was talking about my Dune rating, And I was like thinking about things that were holding it back from a 10. And I couldn't really think of any like valid reasons, but it's because, at least for me, it's not just a straight 10, which it definitely feels like, is because it's a two-parter. Like, you don't get the payoff of Dune 2 without the proper setup and like the great setup of Dune Part 1. And so, with that being said, on its own, it's not it's still a solid movie, but on its own, it just doesn't, like, it can't take that 10 for me. But that being said, though, combining just, and there's a part 3 coming, so this could either, further reinforce this or, take it down. But as of now, Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2, that's a 10. That's a freaking 10. And what's interesting about this kind of I'll be getting into some Dune site, not like, just some things I missed talking about in the review next week, or not next week, fucking time traveler. Last week, just some things I forgot to, like, just overlooked and didn't like touch up on. So I'll be getting into some more Dune talk, but just real quick, just relating it to like just Star Wars and the quality and whatnot. And of course, Dune's based off books and everything, so it has that going for it with its narrative and stuff. But just the overall quality, of this the narrative, the movies, and just the care, bro. It's just like, what is. And this is like a not like a big deal, but like this is like big to me because I love Star Wars, bro. I love Star Wars. I love the world that, George Lucas and, various collaborators crafted, and the universe they built with Star Wars. Like, no matter the quality of Star Wars at any given moment, I will still love Star Wars because, bro, at the end of the day, the world is what I love of Star Wars. And and then getting the fluctuating quality of things, I know what Star Wars is at its fucking, maybe at its, when it's operating at its fullest potential. I know what Star Wars looks like when it's fucking dog shit. So it's just like, I always have that optimistic hope of, that higher quality, and we've gotten that and sprinkled in, you get Mandalorian season 1 and, somewhat of season 2. Starting to lose its juice as it goes along, but then you get Andor, you get Rogue One, you get the give or take. I personally think regardless of the narratives or whatnot, they're well made movies. But Force Awakens and The Last Jedi and Han, I got to rewatch Solo, but you just get sprinkles of very, very great things. And so, long story short, circling back to Dune, bro, Star Wars needs to get this attention to detail and the quality, and I don't care, like, and it's really just hiring the right creatives. That's all it is, bro. And it's just like getting these, and it's easier said than done, schedules and whatnot, and they have money, bro. Like, I don't think money is an issue, to be honest, but schedules and what they're working on, but just getting the right creatives to work on this stuff and just crafting and again, Dune because I'm saying this, bro, because Dune is damn near like, just seeing these two movies, it's up there with, what's it called, Star Wars, and just in terms of like sci-fi universes type shit. Like, bro, I love the world of Dune now. That shit's crazy. Like, it literally has me considering reading the books and shit. Like, I'm in too deep, So it's just, I just want this level of attention and detail in Star Wars, bro. Like, it deserves it. And like, if we got something like, I'm not even, and just again, circling again back to the point of Dune being based off books, so it has that going for it for its narrative, and being able to really, of course there's stuff left out and whatnot, but to be able to really set up and pay off things and sprinkle and plant seeds that really come grow in the next part or whatever. And so that just like, Star Wars just needs this level of detail, I guess is what I'm saying, bro. It just needs the Dune treatment. Star Wars needs the Dune treatment. That's what it is. It just needs the care and that's been shown to Dune. And bro, because I love Star Wars. The universe is vibrant. It's beautiful, bro. But yeah, I guess that is my Dune rant before the Dune talk. Bro, like I said, I'm in too deep. But we'll start with the gaming this week, though, because there's not a ton of we'll be starting with the gaming this week. But getting into the straight annoying side of the gaming talk for this week, Warner Bros. Sees its future game strategies to involve more live service games, mobile and free to play games. There's there's this article actually. This comes from CEO Warner Bros. Game CEO JB Peretti. And so this is a quick little quote before I get into the article. Rather than just launching a one and done console game, how do we develop a game around, for example, Hogwarts Legacy or Harry Potter that is live service where people can live and work and build and play in that world in an ongoing basis. Okay, so from reading this article, it just seems like this okay. Before I get into it, this is ass. This is ass. First and foremost, that's ass. But in the article, they said that they're not completely shifting away from single player games. So look, they said just because he said going on to tease that Warner Bros. And some new mobile free to play games and coming this year. Also worth noting that just because Warner Bros. May push into new places, that doesn't necessarily mean it will stop making big single player games. And then that's where he goes into the quote, rather than just launching a one and done console game. So it just seems they're shifting their focus. They're not going to completely abandon single player games, which bro is ass. But this, like I was back to what I was saying though, this is just from the article. You should read it. It's on GameSpot. It's Warner Bros. Discuss volatile AAA console games will lean into free to play and mobile. Fuck. But yeah, it's on GameSpot. Try to go find it. So it basically, bro, it's coming from a pure money hungry greed standpoint, which is okay. I was gonna start yapping again on some unrelated shit, but it just comes from a completely just money hungry type of perspective. And like they're trying to, and honestly, look, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I get it from a completely business side of things, but that's not what, this games are like art, they have a very heavy artistic framework. I don't know. It's like, it's business, but just like movies, just like anything in the entertainment industry, you have very creative, talented people driving the main like product, I guess, quote unquote product or product to the business side of things, project to, I guess, the creative side of things. But you have them, leading this creative project, and then you have the business people trying to, monetize the most they can out of their product, and so it's just it's a constant clash in the entertainment industry. And so, like I was saying though, from a purely business perspective, I understand, because live service games, they give, and they say in the article, they give a good live service product that goes on for a while, gives constant revenue, constant, consistent numbers that you can share to your shareholders or whatever the case, and to get more funding, or your investors, however that goes on, you just get more consistency. You get more consistency in your numbers. And so I get it from that standpoint, but that's not where you get, these games that, for instance, however you feel about it, but games like Arkham Knight, where literally it came out in 2015 or some shit like that, and it's a game I still play to this day. Yeah, you're not, and there has been DLC for it and shit, but you're not getting fucking constant revenue from that. But bro, you created a project that is timeless, that literally I revisit 10 years later. Like, come on, bro. I feel like, and that from an artistic vibe is what it's all about. But it's just like, it's stuck into, I don't know. Is this like capitalism? Is that like why it's like stuck into this like machine of, but it's like, without capitalism, will we get this type of stuff? Like this type of AAA funding and stuff for games? I don't know. I'm just kind of yapping at this, at that point, but just like, this is just purely greed is what I see. Because I feel like they could scale back in any of these fat cat like CEO salaries or whatever and really just disperse that. But it's just like, the rich got to get richer type beat, But what's like really, really worrisome about this, and also, coming off the fucking flop of Suicide Squad, it's just like that is what the disconnectedness is what's baffling. It's like, what lesson did you learn from Suicide Squad? Was it the lesson of, okay, maybe that wasn't great, let's try again? Not fucking, we specialized in great single player narratives and games and experiences, and we changed it up, and now the general audience that we've cultivated over these years is not fucking with it. That's not the lesson you took. It was, maybe let's try this again. Is it because like the success of, I don't know, like Helldivers or something? Like there's probably other more lives, but that's just what I've, like, a live service games that I've just been seeing that's been blowing up. But is it like off that, like, okay, if we strike gold, we'll get a great live service game, but you got to throw a lot of shit at the wall to make something stick, especially like when it's like that, or that's not your roots of your core audience, So it's just like, damn, bro. And because it's like, I circle back to the point of, there's other games to play, of course. I don't have to fucking indulge in these fucking these games, but it's just like the IPs that they have, bro. I want to play a fucking something that's recently coming up is a fucking single player Wonder Woman game. Yes, I want to play that. I want to play. They have fucking the DC IP brand under their fucking belt. Like, I want to play a fucking, I want to play these DC games, and it's like, now that they're gonna be trapped in fucking these dog shit live and that's not to say that that's what they even say in the article. They're still going to be they'll still be making single player games, but that's not going to be their focus. And we will probably maybe still get more single player not Wonder Woman, but DC games, but like, that is not the plan, like, going forward. So for the most part, they have, some brands that they named in the article were Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and DC as like their biggest brands. And so it's just like, yeah, like Mortal Kombat seems to have some like scummy transaction practices in the past, and I don't know what Mortal Kombat 1's looking like, but it's looking pretty dead from the conversation I see on Twitter, which again is a small part of the general conversation around things. So that could not necessarily mean the overall perspective on the game, but like, it's just like, it sucks to say, like, are we gonna be getting fucking shitty DC live or fucking mobile games? Like, it sucks to it, just like on the side of Marvel being under Disney. Like, it's just like, you have these companies with, like, and even Star Wars, you have these companies with your favorite IPs and your favorite franchises, your favorite universe under these dog shit companies, and it's just like, it sucks. And I don't know, bro. It just seems like they just took the wrong lesson with, and then with Hogwarts Legacy, it sold 22 million copies in 2023, and it was the highest selling game of the year. Like, a controversy like aside, bro, that it was their highest selling game, and their fucking thought process is, yeah, let's try to make a live service game out of this. What? Yeah, it's just it's baffling. It's baffling. The disconnect is mind blowing, and it's grinding my gears. No cap. But again, this maybe we will get like single player games sprinkled in, and maybe they will be bangers. Like, that's not, you can't completely write that off, but it's just like, it sucks to see that this seems to be where their focus is headed. And hey, maybe we will get a fucking banger live service game. That's not completely out of the picture either. But it coming off the history of Suicide. What other live service games have they done? I'm not sure. Anthem. I don't know. Is that live service? I'm not sure, but it just maybe we'll get like a fucking another DC Universe Online. I wasn't like super tapped into that, but like that seemed to be going on for a while and seemed to have a pretty strong core fan base. Maybe we'll get something cool like that. Who knows? But yeah, it just doesn't look too great for the future of DC games. I guess that's really where my head lies. And I fuck with Mortal Kombat. Harry Potter's cool, but like, I guess the DC side of things is where this, I guess, hit home hits home for me. I mean, it's not that fucking serious. I'm not taking a goddamn blow to the heart, but like, it's disappointing nonetheless to hear this. So the next piece of gaming news, the Helldivers 2 fucking, I am so pissed. I should be able to get my PlayStation fixed next week. Not to say that it will be fixed next week, but I'll be able to take it in because I think it's just an HDMI problem, which is relatively easy to fix. I'm not sure, but it's not nothing like super like serious or power or whatever the case. But anyways, some more cool stuff with Helldivers too. So apparently, this is an example of a good live service game. So apparently, this game is like very community driven. Like you liberate planets based on like the communities and like the people who are playing the game, their participation and everyone involved. So more players playing or working to to a common objective completes it faster. But anyways, so they've locked a piece of gear behind this concept. So apparently a planet was being like overrun by robots, and it was the planet that deploys the mechs. Like, so I guess mechs are coming to Helldivers, which is pretty cool. And basically before the planet was liberated, you could go to, there's been some stuff like some leaks about the mechs or whatever, but if you're playing on the planet before it's liberated, like you're trying to liberate it, like with your squad or whatever, you're contributing to the common goal, you can use the mechs on the planet on that like mission. But then once you liberate the planet, which has happened since this article coming out, now since the planet's liberated, the mechs are available for development and deployment, and so now you can get them like on every like mission or whatever. So it's just something really, really cool about this, like just creating this community objective and environment, and not doing something scummy and maybe like locking the mechs behind a fucking season pass or fucking whatever the case, or paid DLC. It's just you incentivize playing the game as a community and working to it. You're building just something so strong just off of little stuff like this, and this is just really cool to see just develop in real time, and just how, and I can't wait really to hop on this game and when my PlayStation's fixed. Like, this is the first game I'm buying when my PlayStation is fixed, bro. It's just really cool to see these healthy practices and these healthy what's it called, decisions, I guess, for just the gaming space. And just I feel like this sets an example, and like I said, on the Warner Bros side of things, like maybe we will get something, and not necessarily something like Helldivers 2 like verbatim, but just like a live service game that does these healthy practices and whatnot. But hey, that remains to be seen. But that was just some cool Helldivers news. Can't wait to like fully get into that game and play it for my fucking self. Jesus Christ. So, but on the next piece of gaming news, we have the Spider-Man New Game Plus came out, and there was a bunch of things that got fixed, and a bunch of patch notes. And again, this shit, of course, comes out and my fucking PlayStation is broken. But I just want to get into some of the, I haven't really looked at this list at all, but get into what's been added and the additional features and whatnot, and to really see if it kind of maybe fixed my problems I had with it. Some of the in-game problems I had with it. So let's just get into this like patch notes list, I guess. Yeah. So New Game Plus, that's just been missing from, it should have been there day one. But anyways, ultimate levels are back. So that once you beat the game, you unlock a higher difficulty. So that was what's it called? Something was in the previous games. But let's see. The next thing, symbiote suit styles. Unlock new story symbiote suit styles via ultimate level progression. I think actually there was a couple of suit styles that, so this was the symbiote, actually like the story symbiote you get in game. There's some actually color variants for it. I don't remember all of them, but I know that like the black one that you get in game has like a red symbiote emblem one that looks pretty cool, and then the anti-venom suit has some symbiote styles that look actually really, really cool. Actually no, it does have some reverse. The anti-venom suit does have some styles that look like cool, like decent to cool, but then the symbiote suit has a anti-venom like color scheme. It's like black and white, or white and black, and it looks really really cool. And like that's what should have been. That's what should have the. That's what the anti venom suit should have looked like, and that would have been fire. I don't, because I really don't like the anti venom suit. But yeah, golden gadget styles is just golden gadgets. So it just turns them gold. Text, suit tech fusion. Unlock both perks in a shared suit tech slot. Oh, okay, that's kind of lit. So I think if this is what I think it means, it's because like and when you're, I think upgrading or whatever, sometimes some branches have like a, you pick a skill one or the other, and I think you can get both now, which would be pretty cool. New trophy, that's cool. Mission replay. So yeah, there's a lot of fucking cool sections in Spider-Man. So, being able to replay those, that's like fun without having to fucking go through the whole game. That's gonna be cool. I think I'll probably utilize that more on my after my second playthrough or third playthrough, and just pick out key moments I want to experience with certain suits and what cutscenes I want to see suits and whatnot. Tendril color swap symbiote tendril color in post game via gameplay settings. So I think you can swap between maybe this even goes to the but anyways, so you would be, so post game you would get the anti venom suit, and then which would have white tendrils instead of black, and if you were using a black style symbiote suit, just rocking the suit or whatever, it would be white tendrils, and that just kind of just didn't match up and just didn't look aesthetically pleasing. And so I guess you could swap these. But I was gonna say though, since you get other colors with these symbiote styles, like the in game symbiote suit, can you swap those to those newer colors? I don't know if there was any specific like non-white or black ones, but yeah, maybe. Photo mode, action figure mode, you can in photo mode you can scale Spider-Man down, or whoever you're taking a picture of, to an action figure size. Yeah, so some Hellfire Gala suits. I don't know if these were the workout. Oh no, the fresh and fit. I haven't seen these Hellfire Gala suits. Actually, I have. No cap. Actually, cap. I have. I don't really like Miles's. Miles is like in a tux or whatever. That's cool, but I think Peter's is kind of cool. Yeah, I think the fresh and fit. That's the workout gear. What I talk about. Yeah. So some new accessibility options, some improved fixes, some stability fixes. Okay, so the main things though, which I don't really see in here, were now you're not locked to, what's it called? No, that's what I don't see in here. Actually, I don't know if this is all the features. So this is from Insomniac's official website. Is Hunter replay bases, the Hunter bases. So can you not do that? And we should have gotten I'm not saying that they planned this, but we shouldn't have gotten unlocked on the Mysterio fucking challenges and been able to do it with Peter. So again, I don't know if this is all of the changes, but yeah, I don't see any Hunter replay base, which is kind of disappointing. I feel like that just gives them more reason just to test combat and fight without fucking. But maybe you can replay, that goes into replay mission. Like maybe if you replay a mission, I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of disappointing. I don't see that. Not to say it's not there, but it's just I don't think it's listed. And then also, you're not locked to suits and cutscenes, and so you're not fucking locked to using Miles's trash ass. This is a Miles Morales special type shit, and he pulls up with that bunko ass trash ass fit. I'm really hating on him because that shit's ass, no cap. But yeah, but it's you can use whatever suit now. That's cool. You're not locked into the anti venom suit, which I'm not a fan of. So that's super cool. And then there was some suit improvements. The Raimi suit got a big upgrade. That shit looks fucking fuego, my friend. That shit looks fire. And so that's cool. And I can't wait to use that suit. All the fucking movie suits look fucking fire. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit looks amazing. No pun intended. I did not expect it to like that suit that much. I mean, I like it overall, but just in game, it just looks so good. But then, now you get an accurate Toby fucking suit, which looks fuego, and that looks fire in cutscenes. And then, Tom Holland suits, those are fire. His the black one and the original one, and then you get his final swing one, that is fuego. But then also with the this new game plus patch coming out, there was a DLC leak. So they, with the release of this patch, the debug, I don't know what a debug menu is, but I guess it just gives you access to a lot of dev features, which you could change different stuffs in the game. Like you can change the time of day, which is a feature whatnot already, but like I don't know, you just get their look behind the scenes type shit. And so there was a DLC leak. And so if you don't want to know what the next DLC or what the DLC, it reveals only one. I don't know if this is the only one they're doing. What's it called? If you don't want to know what the DLC is, just skip ahead about a minute or so. It'll be all time coded below. So yeah, but anyways, spoilers for Spider-Man 2 DLC. So the next DLC, or it's not next, but the first DLC, it appears to be the Beetle, which is really, really fun. I'm really excited about that. And apparently, I don't know the Beetle character like in 616 or really in Ultimate, but that's where I got to introduce the character. Beetle was in Ultimate Spider-Man, the game the game on the PS2. But I thought I didn't know he was a girl unless it's a gender change, which they did with the Tinkerer. But apparently she's Tombstone's daughter. If I just saw that floating around, I don't know if that's true. But what got revealed though, it says Beetle Janice intro, so it's a girl. So yeah, Tombstone's daughter, maybe, if that's true. Beetle reveal, Beetle construction, Beetle ambush, Beetle battlefield, Beetle bridge, Beetle convoy, Beetle hostages, Beetle boss. So it just seems like a DLC revolving around Beetle. And Beetle's like, I think, assassin or like like a mercenary or something. So that's cool. That's gonna be really cool to see. But yeah, that's really it on the new game plus things. I'll probably have some more stuff to say once I get my PlayStation fixed and get on it myself. But yeah, next piece of news though, Respawn. Respawn are making a new game set in the Titanfall universe with Titanfall game director Steve Fukuda leading the development. It is not Titanfall 3. Cry. So this comes from Jeff Grubb, Game Mess Mornings. I don't know if that's like a podcast or I don't know what that is, a blog. Not sure. But this is it's disappointing that we're not getting Titanfall 3. The release of Titanfall, bro, was disastrous. It's Titanfall 2. It literally got released and hold on. Let me look up the when did Titanfall 2 come out? Because I know it got released. It got released in the middle of Battlefield 1, which was a fire battlefield, and it got released in between, what was the 2016 called? Infinite Warfare, which had a fire campaign. Like the multiplayer was whatever, but it had a fire campaign. But it got sandwiched in between fucking COD and Battlefield, and just by EA, my fault. I was gonna say Warner Bros, but EA makes Titanfall, but it got sandwiched in between those games, and EA just released it at a dog shit time, and it went unnoticed by myself, because literally, like I said, Battlefield 1 is probably my favorite Battlefield, no cap. Like I wasn't really I was kind of got on the Battlefield train a little late, so it's like I didn't really play Battlefield 3 a whole lot, and I played quite a bit of Battlefield 4, but again, I was on the bandwagon late, and so it wasn't something that I grew up with and whatnot. But Battlefield 1 is like one that I was tapped in from day one, and I was like ranked like fucking 90 or whatever the fucking, I was pretty high, bro. Me and my friend Dejan, bro, he would literally bring his PlayStation over. We would set up 2 TVs and we would just grind Battlefield, bro, and just, be in a squad. And it was just so fucking lit, bro. I love Battlefield 1. But yeah, that's what I was on when Titanfall 2 dropped. And so it just went completely unnoticed, which is really disappointing because it was on my radar, because the first Titanfall was only on Xbox. And I was like, whoa, fucking mechs, wall running. Oh, holy shit. Like I want to play. And I played it, going over to a friend's house who has an Xbox. I played it a couple times. Like, yeah, this is lit. But it just got sandwiched in, and something that I was excited for just got thrown to the wayside. Just got completely just locked in with Battlefield 1, and then the Infinite Warfare campaign. I literally only prestiged one time in Infinite Warfare multiplayer and got the intervention, and then I stopped playing the multiplayer. And so yeah, and then when I finally, Battlefield 1, got off that and whatever, some years later, I was like, whoa, Titanfall 2 was maybe on sale or something. Got it, played the campaign. I was like, oh my gosh, the campaign is fucking amazing. And then it's just super fun. It's a good campaign. Like if you like Call of Duty, like the good Call of Duty campaigns, it's that. And so obviously not, you know what I mean. But yeah, and then the multiplayer was it was pretty dead, but would get into the matches here and there, and just the gunplay, and it's just everything about it. It was just a solid from top to bottom. Multiplayer, single player, everything. It was fun, action pack, all the shit. So I don't know, whatever. But I don't know what that description was. But and then you get like Titanfall, and it has the same type of, not even the same type of, it is a general feel. Just especially with the gunplay and stuff. Obviously set in the time. It's from the same creators, whatever. But bro, I just been yearning for a Titanfall 3. I need a Titanfall 3. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Gosh. I need a Titanfall 3. But it's cool to see that even if it's not Titanfall 3, if it's the same vibes of Titanfall 2, and it's just, because the story of Titanfall, maybe this is just like a relaunch of the title, of the series, and hopefully we get like a multiplayer that is with this as well, because definitely, bro, a Titanfall like 3 like multiplayer would kill in this day and age, bro. Just a super solid shooter. That's what people are clamoring for right now, and Titanfall will answer that call, no cap. But yeah, that's really exciting, really excited to keep eyes on that. Let's see. Oh, so the next piece of news: live action Watch Dogs film is in the works, with Sophie Wilde talked to star. So helmed by French director Mathieu Turi and screenplay by Christy LeBlanc, writer of Netflix Oxygen, I believe. Yeah, this is no. Okay. I do have some. I was like, what am I gonna say about this? But Watch Dogs is definitely. So what are they gonna lean into? Like, what side of Watch Dogs are they gonna lean into? Like Watch Dogs 1, where it's like more of a gritty narrative, and I'll get into it, but more gritty narrative, solo type vibes, loner, just trying to straight, just like hitman assassin type vibes, and stuff like that. Or are they gonna lean into like Watch Dogs 2, which is a lot more vibrant? He has a crew with him, like it's quote unquote hipster fucking shit, like he's 3D printing guns and shit, like it's stuff like that, which honestly, keep it a buck, I mean, I really like Watch Dogs 2 a lot. The gameplay's fun, the narrative was fun, and then Watch Dogs 1 has like its own merits. Like I really like, he's like fucking Batman, like fucking hacking shit, like that's fun in its own right in that narrative. And so it's just, I feel like, and then you have Legion. I don't want to talk. I didn't even check out Legion, so I don't know. Is that good or not? It wasn't really well received. So, and then once I heard like what it was like and wasn't really, I wasn't really interested in it. But is it gonna go either way? If it goes either way of those vibes, I'm down for it. But then it says the Sophie Wilde, she was in Talk to Me, which is a really good movie. I liked a lot. It's like like I mentioned, was it this episode? Oh yeah, I was talking about Late Night with the Devil in the intro. I'm not a horror movie person at all, but it was just an interesting premise, and so I checked it out, and I was thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, so she's really good, and so, and I can kind of see her going both ways though, in where this is going, like a more gritty type of narrative, like maybe she's like getting her get back on whatever, and she's kind of like loner, or this can go into the more vibrant type of shit I was talking about with Watch Dogs 2, more hipster vibe, and or this could be like, of course, I think it's gonna be set in the Watch Dogs universe and not gonna be, she's not gonna be gender bent Aiden, or she's not gonna be gender bent. Was Marcus is the main character's name in the second game? He's not gonna be gender bent Marcus. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be set in the Watch Dogs universe and just being its own narrative. And so maybe if it's that's the case, maybe we'll get some like a quick cameo of Marcus or Aiden, or a quick mention of them, which would be cool. But yeah, I would. But like I said, I wouldn't be fussed with either narrative, more gritty or more vibrant. But I would want to see more vibrant, because I feel like the more gritty narrative would kind of just, if not done with a strong creative like presence and shit, it's just gonna feel like a generic ass just loner hacker, like she's just trying to, I don't know, it's just gonna feel super generic. And with a more vibrant, setting, I feel like you have a bit more to play with with that, in my opinion. So I guess I am leaning more towards something like Watch Dogs 2. But yeah, nonetheless, it's still interesting and going to be interesting to see that develop. The last piece of gaming news. So we got a trailer for Dune Awakening, which is going to be open world survival massive multiplayer online MMO. It's coming to all platforms, PC, Xbox, all the shits. I don't think it's coming to Switch. And so I dove a little deep in this because with the trailer. So look. Actually, let me set the stage. Actually, let me get a swig of water first. This is not my realm of gaming. Massive multiplayers online. What are some massive? Well, let's just look up some MMOs. Yeah, this is not my realm of gaming at all. I'm really not too drawn to these games. Oh wait, Final Fantasy is an MMO. Star Wars Old Republic. Okay, so some just to, if you're like me and don't know a lot of massive multiplayer online games, and this is something like World of Warcraft. Let's see. I think DC. Oh yeah, I mentioned it earlier. DC Universe Online would be a massive multiplayer online. Something like, is Rust the MMO? I don't think so. Let's see. I'm just trying to see some popular ones. But Star Wars: The Old Republic, I'm not too 100 on that. But yeah, not my realm. Anyways, that being said, though, with my recent obsession of Dune and just being obsessed with fucking Arrakis and what just the universe and just the technology and shit like that, I will be 100% willing to check this out. There was like a quick trailer, had a bit of gameplay, not like too much. I gotta see what it's really looking like maybe like a fucking 20-minute like gameplay like trailer type shit showcase, and I really will decide this. But at the very least, I'm very open to check this out. I even went to like the website just to see what type of like shit will be in it and whatnot, and just some quick stuff. The what I found, and just. So, your Dune, your journey, open world survival MMO, rise from survival to dominance on the most dangerous planet in the universe. Dune Awakening combines the grit and creativity of sandbox survival games with the social interactivity of a large, persistent multiplayer game to create a unique and ambitious world survival MMO. There's some like gameplay stuff. Hold on. Create your base, and yeah, I'm not super big on base building or whatnot, so that was like kind of a turn off. But again, like I said, I will be very. So yeah, here's some gameplay stuff though. So I mean, and I was like reading on the website, and it seems to be they're really taking a really, the graphics for this, which I didn't mention, look actually really really good, especially for an MMO, which is like. The main focus of MMOs is not graphic. It's their systems. It's the world. It's the world building. It's the it's graphics aren't a big thing. So it's like I'm definitely more forgiving on MMOs graphics, but the graphics for this look pretty good. And so, but like I was saying, they're working in close with Legendary or Warner Bros. Whoever. They're giving them assets to use. They're consulting with their designers, and there seems to be a lot of good back and forth between the movie side of things and and the gaming side of things. And so it seems to be a lot of care going into this, and that's what like kind of really piqued my interest. And so let me see. So survival includes collecting water from plants and even bodies. Keeping to shade when possible helps reduce water consumption. Crafting, you will craft and collect resources to craft your entire arsenal, weapons, gear, clothing, and your base vehicles and more. MMO aspects shine towards the end game, where factions will fight for resources. There is a Lancerod system that enables players to be aligned with. For example, the Harkonnen and Atreides to vote on things that which impact the whole world. Base building. The deep building system lets you create blueprints of what you have built. More base building stuff, which I'm not really a fan, but I'll get into it if I'm fucking with the game. Sandworms. You cannot kill the worm. You can only avoid the worm. You can use thumpers to direct a sandworm. So it kind of sucks that I didn't expect to be able to kill a sandworm, but it kind of sucks. Damn. About my desk, you can't ride them as of yet. Maybe there will be a future updates where you could ride them. This was interesting. Shifting sands. Some specific areas will be subject to shifting sand to the shifting sand feature, where once a week, Coriolis storms will completely change the landscape, wiping out player outposts and revealing new resources and locations. So yeah, that's a cool. I'm interested to see like how big of an area that affects, and then if your outpost gets destroyed, can you like salvage it, or what's the case on that? Combat. So this is something I got to see more of. You will pick and choose from a wide arsenal of crafted weapons, gadgets, and vehicles, gear, and abilities from different great schools of the Imperium. There's friendly fire and PvP areas, so be careful who you shoot in the back. So I saw in the trailer, they were flying like some of those ornithopters or whatever, like those little mosquito type helicopter things. So that was pretty cool. Some vehicle combat. Interested to see exactly what the melee looks like, what type of guns and stuff they will have, because there's some pretty cool laser guns in Dune and whatnot. And then I was watching like this 7-minute YouTube video, creating the worlds. It seems like I said, like it just there was Greg Fraser, which was the cinematographer on Dune and various other great works. He's super. He was in there, and they were just really talking about the technology and the lighting of, and just how this like really looks different compared to a lot of massive multiplayers online games. And so I'm really excited for this, to be honest. Like I said, I'm not a big massive MMO fan, but it's in the world of Dune, which I'm turning into a big fan of. And so, like I said, I'll be willing to check this out. Now, that was the end of the gaming stuff. Let's get into the movie side of things. I'm going to try to keep this rolling along because we were yapping for quite a bit with it's not a bunch of news, but some trailers to get into. So, the first bit of movie news, Sam Raimi reportedly said there's a chance of Spider-Man 4 happening, simply because he has the same desire as we do. If it is to happen, it will be at the right time. I don't know what he was referring to when he says the same desire as we do. Actually, no. I think this was from the source. And so the source was from this like random like Twitter account. And I was trying to like find something on his profile, but it was mostly in Spanish. But then not mostly, but there's some stuff in Spanish. But what's it called? But apparently he was like at a fan event, and he talked to Sam Raimi, and like I guess asked him about Spider-Man 4. And so he said if it's to happen, it will happen at the right time. And so he seems, and I don't think this is anything new specifically, but it seems, because I'm pretty sure he said that he was willing to do Spider-Man 4, but I don't think I talked about it on here. And just with just I don't know, what is Sony doing, bro? Because I don't know, if you literally like what's with their universe, bro? Just scrap all this bullshit, bro, and let Sam Raimi do Spider-Man 4, reignite the franchise, like and carry his story type shit. Let it go forward. And you can even shift off of that, and focus on something else in the universe. But again, keeping it with his like vision. But it's like, let's get a strong, be creative behind your things again, not something where you can just, not someone where you could just boss around and turn the project into a product, But yeah, that Spider-Man 4 definitely would be very interested to see that. I don't even know where I would want to see Peter's life at. Like, Tobey Maguire definitely has aged a little bit, but I don't think it would be a huge stretch to say, like, I don't know. He probably looks a bit too old, but where would he be at? Like, is he still, like, is his life in shambles? Like, is he doing great? Like, I don't know where he would be in the Raimi universe. But knowing fucking Peter and how Raimi treated him. He's probably down in his dick. No cap. He's probably down bad. Let's go some quick a reemergence of some classics are coming back. So Lindsay Lohan confirms, she was like on some YouTube thing, I don't know. She confirms Freaky Friday 2 is happening. Freaky Friday, bro, fucking classic, real childhood banger, bro. Yeah. And then with another classic coming back, filming has begun on Final Destination 6, which is fire. I just started watching the Final Destination films again, all the way, not again, but you know, I've seen them growing up, but I started watching them with my girl. Just started on 1. We finished 1 and 2 last night. But yeah, super fun movies, and they kind of just like, I don't want to like spoil them if anyone hasn't seen them before. If you want to go check them out now that Final Destination 6 coming out, but yeah, so super pumped about Final Destination 6 coming out. And then so Zack Snyder was on, I actually have to put it on my weekly watch list, whatever. Hopefully I remember it. But Zack Snyder was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he said DC is making Batman irrelevant by enforcing the no-kill rule. You're protecting your god in a weird way. If he does do that, what does it mean? Does he stand up to it? Does he survive it? So I was listening to this, and first off, I don't want to. It seems like the interview. Okay. Actually, let me start with this. Batman's no kill rule. So okay. I'm just trying to figure out what angle to tackle this in, because he says that like, when you don't put Batman into a situation, he says it's Kobayashi, like something with Star Trek, and basically they put like Captain Kurt, I don't know, in a situation where it was a no-win scenario, and so they wanted to test him to see how he was in a scenario where he loses, and so, you know, they put him in a no-win scenario, but then like, he hacked before the shit. He hacked like the system or whatever to leave an option in where he could win. And so that was his solution to the no-win scenario. It was to create a scenario where he won. And that was like, okay, that was, and then Zack Snyder, he brings this up and he says that's a cool character trait, right? And it was kind of like he almost got the point of Batman, and then he lost it again, because he was like, and then because he was talking about Frank Miller and The Dark Knight Returns, and you're saying Batman, okay. I gotta keep, okay. So you're saying, and then Batman was like put in this like type of situation, no-win situation, where, you know, he had this guy who was like, I'm gonna kill this kid, and Batman was like M16, and he kind of recreated this scene in Batman versus Superman, and he says like, Batman just like, I'm gonna kill this kid, and then Batman was like, I believe you, and he shoots the guy in the head. But then I was on Twitter, and I haven't read this comic yet. I haven't got there. But and not even got there, but like I just haven't read it. But I was looking on Twitter, and someone posted the panel of that like situation, and Batman shot the gun out of his hand. He didn't kill the guy. But anyways, he was saying, you know, when Batman's put in this situation, what does he do? Does he like, he's saying, does he kill him? Like, what does it mean if he kills him? Like, does he stand up to it? Does he survive it? And it's like, Batman in that situation, I feel like if he killed someone, if he was in that situation, no-win situation, the fun of Batman, he almost said it with the Star Trek character. He's like, that is the fun of that. Or that's the cool thing about that character. He's going to create a situation where he wins. That is Batman. He's not going to, that's the fun of putting him in that situation. He's going to work out a way where he doesn't have to take a life, where he wins. Or if he loses, like, that is the end of him. Like, if you put him in the situation and he had to shoot the guy to save the kid, and Batman did shoot the guy, Batman would have retired after that. There would have been no more Batman. He would have been like, damn, I had to do that to save that kid. I'm not good enough to be in this position. I'm not good enough to be the Batman. Like, either I'm getting old in age, which he almost had it, bro. He almost had it with Batman v Superman. Batman would break after that. There would be no more Batman. It would be only Bruce after that, because he would retire at that point. That's what I believe Batman, if he was put in that situation. But like, if he had to pull the trigger, the fun of Batman would be crafting a situation where it seems like all hope is lost, and then he pulls out some fucking fourth quarter fucking crazy detective, like, shenanigans and he works his way out of the situation. That's the fun of Batman, in my opinion. And then, of course, and then he Zack Snyder, he goes on to say, he gets in kind of in trouble because it seems to me Zack Snyder's favorite Batman is like the deconstructions of Batman, where it's like this, where he's talking about the Frank Miller stuff, where it's like, it puts Batman in these challenging situations. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's his favorite version of Batman. Great. But I just feel like that is such a minuscule, breaking Batman like that is such a minuscule, I think, drop in his larger narrative. And so that's why I feel like a lot of people clash with that, because even if you do, because there is something with deconstructing these characters and putting them in these no-win scenarios per se. But I feel like it has to be really written in a way that makes sense, And I feel like most situations of that we've seen in live action, or at least like Zack's, haven't really been done well. And so I think with that point of like the deconstruction of characters, it's just like not necessarily I'm saying that doesn't work for Batman, or it just works in a different way. Like it doesn't like for the character of Batman, him killing, it doesn't result in him like to continue killing. That would be his breaking point, And of course, there's room to say, that's what I was gonna say with Batman Beyond. I feel like Zack would make a great Batman Beyond movie, especially like in the earlier parts where it's like Batman, like the Batman that I see like that he likes is the Batman Beyond version, where he's to the point in his career where he damn near almost killed someone because he was not good enough to be Batman. That was his breaking point. And so it's like, to see Zack and Snyder play around with that, I feel like would be more where his mindset is with the character and what he wants to do with the characters. And then, you get the Terry McGinnis stuff and whatnot. And I feel like, I don't know, Zack Snyder would make a cool Batman Beyond film, but it just seems more up his alley. But it just doesn't seem like he fully understands the wider character of Batman. It seems like he focuses on this one, or not even this one specific, but this I wouldn't say minuscule, that's not the word I'm looking for, but this specific type of Batman that is not really representative of the whole of the character as a whole. And so once and it kind of feels like he's forcing that light on the character, at least in his works and whatnot, and like how he talks about the character. And which is, again, if you like that version of the character, that's great. But I just feel like it's not really representative of the whole character of Batman. And that's to say, like, I don't necessarily want to call his his look on the character wrong, because these people interpret these characters differently and whatnot. And so it's like, and because also it seems like he's very passionate about the characters, just in a different way, And it's probably, and I wouldn't even want to say the mainstream way. And I guess you could make the argument like he doesn't understand these characters at all. But I just don't want to go that far and just to say like, oh my God, like you are so into this stuff and like, bro, you don't understand it at all. Like I don't know. But yeah, that was a lot of yapping about Batman. But I hope I got my point across though, because I feel like, yeah, I don't really. Oh, something interesting that came out of that interview too, of that Joe Rogan interview, or Zack Snyder's interview with Joe Rogan, is when he was talking about Rebel Moon, he said that Netflix automatically considers two people to be watching something whenever something's streamed. He just casually mentions that. I don't know if that's true or how true that is, but that is absurd. And that just kind of, I feel like, just quickly, before I go on to the next piece of news, it just quickly goes, or to the trailers, it just quickly goes into the just the instability of streaming and just how fluffed up their numbers are and whatnot. So I guess that's something I should keep in mind when I'm talking about something like on streaming and talking about numbers and stuff, that those can potentially, and I've heard that before, but I just really didn't until hearing that, just take that into really consideration, and when talking about when stuff is, numbers and with streaming stuff. Anyways, let's get into these trailers before we get into some Dune talk. Okay, so there's apparently I don't know what that pause was, but apparently there's a kaiju short film from Godzilla Minus One director Takashi Yamazaki. That will release on March 14th on online. So I guess maybe some on YouTube. I don't think maybe on YouTube, but maybe some I don't know, Godzilla fucking website or some shit. But it seems like, so it's just a quick 10-second preview so far of this little, it comes out next week actually. But it seemed like it's like a kaiju monster, but it seems like he's made of fruit. That's low key what it looks like. He's like grabs this like tower and like he has some stuff falling off of him. It's like a bunch of food and stuff falling off of him. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see. It's like, I don't know. I feel like this is not even like related to Godzilla at all. It's just like some fun shit he did. But yeah, interested to see what that is. That comes out next week. This actually comes out the week after next. So yeah, we got the first trailer for Late Night with the Devil, starring David Dastmalchian. I hope I said his name right, but yeah, that's he was in Polka Dot, or he was Polka Dot Man in Suicide Squad and various other things. He's a really good actor. But yeah, we got like when we first got the first teaser for this movie, it was super super vague, and I just didn't know what really was about. But it seemed very interesting. So basically, it's a talk show host, and he is it looks like he has bad ratings or something, and so he brings on this. He has like various different acts come on, it seems like, and this was like during Halloween night, and he brings on a lady and this girl, and the lady talks to the devil through the girl. They're on the talk show, and it's live, and like there's an audience and stuff like that. So it just seems like things go awry once the devil enters the picture, and it seems really eerie, and it seems like various different acts seem to be affected by this. It seems like maybe they bring the girl on and something happens and the show goes on, and just throughout the night shit starts getting weirder and weirder, and so weirder. So it just seems like how does the audience play a part into this? Like, how is that gonna it just seems very very interesting. And like I said, I'm not a horror movie guy at all. But like I said, once there's an interesting premise, I'm on board, So this is coming out March 22nd. So that's going to be a review queued up for, I gotta keep an eye out for that because we got some stuff coming up next week, but I'll get into that a little later. But yeah, late night with the devil. So I'm going to try to get my girl to see this. I'm going to actually really try to get my girl to see this with me because I do not want to see this alone. Maybe I'll try to go with my friends or something. Yeah, I'm a scared little cat, and I'll go. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, not really a horror movie fan, brother. Especially when you're fucking with the demons and the devil and whatnot. Yeah, you lost me, buddy. But like I said, it's interesting premise. And then the next trailer is the Fallout trailer, which this show comes out April 11th on Prime Video. And I think we talked about maybe like just a little short teaser trailer, but yeah, this is a 3-minute 17 trailer, so it's pretty long. We got a pretty good look into what's going on here. Visually, I think there's some good visuals here. The CGI looks a little it looks good though for a show, and it's of course it's on Amazon Prime, but smaller budgets and whatnot, and if they wanted to, they can greenlight more bigger budget. But anyways, with the budget they have, the CGI looks really good. It's the sets. There seems to be a lot of practical sets that looks really cool. We're gonna look at the Brotherhood of Steel. Just my relationship with the Fallout series and whatnot in the games. I was super young and I tried to play New Vegas, and I was liking it, and it was just like that was like my first, probably not my first, but from like what I remember, and just like with an RPG, and I was really into deep, and so I was super super above my understanding of different type of games, so I was very lost in that game. But I was like, okay, this is cool for the most part. I just don't know what the fuck to do. When did New Vegas come out? Because that'll kind of tell what age range I was in. Fallout, because I know it wasn't like when the game first came out, but it was still on the PS3 era. This game came out 2010, so yeah, maybe I was like 12, maybe 13. Yeah, so I was still, and that's not even like a age to be like shit at video games, but I'm just like, I was not into RPGs. And I'm still really not, but I'm easing into them. But yeah, we get like a look at the Brotherhood of Steel and whatnot, which they look cool. And where's the trailer, brother? I literally just had it. Is this? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Um, what's it called? I don't see Walter Goggins. He plays like a ghoul. I think that's the name that like brought me to this. I was like, oh, okay, a fall series. Okay, cool. Walter Goggins. Oh, cool actor. And then I seen Christopher Nolan's brother. Um, he like worked on Westworld, and there's some really cool name attached. So I was like, okay, I'll see what this looking at. And I seen some like complaints on Twitter. Again, Twitter's just a minuscule of the overall consensus on something, but nonetheless, see some complaints on Twitter just complaining about the face mask on one of the Brotherhood of Steel armors, lifting up and revealing the face, and there's like, oh my god, like I was like, who fucking cares, brother? But anyways, the Brotherhood of Steel, their what is it? This power armor that shit looks really good. There's some. I think there's maybe some CGI shots of it, but there's some practical shots of it, and it looks really, really fucking fire. So yeah, I really look how that looks like practically. Hopefully, we just get some. There was one shot of one fighting a mutant bear or a radiated bear. Walter Goggins was walking up to Walter Goggins. He was shooting at him. So it just seems super cool. Seems very Fallout vibes, obviously, but it seems like being true to just the aesthetic for the most part. And again, I'm not super like. I'm not like it's not gonna fuss me if this is not super lore accurate. Like as long as you get the fucking the basics right, like I'm on board. And of course, that's not like some diehard fans could have some more problems with it. But hey, I think this is like set like maybe like I think I meant seen it's like 6 years after Fallout 4. So I don't know. Is this like a continuation of the universe, or is just saying, oh, this is 6 years Fallout 4? Because when stuff is not completely lore accurate, like if it's just a adaptation of something, if the fucking change is completely dog shit, then of course I'm gonna have a problem with it. But if it's just like I don't know, something more minuscule, or even it could be bigger, and it could just been like, okay, this is just that adaptation of it. Okay, like it's not really that big of a deal to me. Of course, it's case by case situations, but for the most part, I just don't really have a. Even if I was the same, like even if I was super lore, into lore of the Fallout lore, like fucking a faceplate raising from a helmet that is just supposed to be like manually taken off, like that's not a fucking big deal to me. Like who cares? But of course, different strokes for different folks. But yeah, this as a whole though, it's looking pretty solid. I definitely suggest checking out the trailer if you haven't seen anything on this show so far. But April 11th, Amazon Prime. So yeah. So then we have a trailer. So this is the live action trailer for Parasyte the Gray. This is a live action adaptation from an anime called Parasyte, which I did not finish, but I was messing with. I just you just fall off some shit sometimes, and so yeah. So again, my whole take on live action stuff is just like for the most part they don't even need to exist, but there's just some cases where it's like, okay, that would be pretty interesting to see in live action. So if you don't know what Parasyte is, it's some aliens come from space, and they like are this little like there's this little this little spiky ball shit or whatever, and they basically go inside of a human and they take over their body, and they can change the human body into different like various like flesh based like weapons and whatnot, and whatever. And so basically they're trying to blend in with society, and I believe take it over. And so there's just some I'm interested to see this in live action, because one, the premise I think is just like an overall cool sci-fi premise to see in live action anyway. And then there's some cool things to see with those body effects I was talking about to see in live action. So, and for the most part, it was looking pretty decent in the trailer, like the effects with the body like weapons and shit, and that I was seeing. And so, and again, this is I feel like this could be one of the better live action anime adaptations, because for the most part I feel like those are terrible. But yeah, this can definitely be, and I don't know if this is like its own thing, or like continuing? Like, is this a story set in the universe? Like just just it doesn't follow like the anime type deal. Like it's not something like the One Piece remake or the adaptation or the Cowboy Bebop live action adaptation or the Avatar live action adaptation, unless not technically anime, but it's not like a beat by beat, doing that story. So I feel like this is its own thing. I'm pretty sure, but this comes out April 5th. It's directed by Train to Busan director Yoon Sang Ho, and I actually got to watch the Train to Busan. I heard that's pretty good. But yeah, so yeah, definitely keep an eye on this. I mean, it's April 5th. It's literally less than a month away. Is this? Hold on. I don't know if this is a movie or a show. Huh, interesting. So I might go back and finish the anime type shit before then. Who knows? But so the last trailer before we get into some Dune news and then into some Dune talk is a trailer for Wild Robot starring Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, Kit Connors, Stephanie Sue, I think is her last name. Sorry, and Mark Hamill in theaters September 20th. And so this is a DreamWorks thing, I believe. Hold on, let me pull up the trailer. It seems like to be on some Wall-E type vibes, like a robot is reawakened. I haven't seen. I know it's a crime. I haven't seen Wall-E, but I know the vibes. But it seems to be a Wall-E type beat where he wakes up in post human civilization and everything's overrun or overgrown and whatnot. And so it just seems to be just like I said, Wall-E type vibes, but the animation is something that's immediately. So what got this on my radar actually was I saw the cast and I was like, okay, that's a pretty stacked cast for a more kid friendly animated movie. And then what's it called? That's 8 million. I guess that doesn't really matter as 8 million views, but the Fallout had 12 million. I don't know. That doesn't really matter. But, and then also, someone I follow said the animation was really good. So I was like, okay, stacked cast, great animation. I'm on board. And so, checked out the trailer. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to be expecting, really. But then it's just some wall. It just seems like some. Maybe I'll like take my brothers to this or something. Because I do want to check it out for show. Because the animation is good. The cast is good. I feel like it has some. It's a really, really well made trailer. Like the vibes, the emotion it pulls out of I guess myself and whatnot. Just is really good, feel good vibes. Like he's just going around the forest in the world, and he's just like imitating, like he's trying to climb this wall, and he keeps sliding down and falling, and then he sees a crab walking up the wall, and so he imitates the crab, and he's like letting him, doing that lets him get up the wall easier, and he's just really going around connecting with various woodland creatures in nature and whatnot. And he's building a bond with all of them. Maybe it seems like protecting them and whatnot, because there seem to be like some missiles flying in like later in the trailer and a forest fire. But it seems like he builds a bond with like just the connection of the animals and not just oh damn, it's like the city and whatnot. Yeah, so there's a bigger thing at play that we will probably get slowly introduced to, but it's just really good family friendly vibes and really great animation. I'm really love some good smooth animation, and if you got the story to match, bro, tapped in. But yeah, that looks really interesting. Check that out if you want. Really well made trailer. So we got some Dune news before I ease into this Dune talk. I'll get into it. I'll say this Dune news first. So then, if you still haven't seen Dune or whatever, no spoilers. There'll be spoilers in Dune talk, but I'll say this Dune news first. Dune news first. Jesus. So Dune Part 2 has already passed the entire domestic run of Dune Part 1 in 1 week. So this movie's doing really, really good. I feel like the word of mouth is really working for it. So and then an updated number puts the domestic opening weekend of Dune 2 at 82.5 million. The exact same debut as Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer went on to earn almost 950 million worldwide. Okay, so this definitely I feel like is good, I guess, relation to see the possible trajectory of Dune's, possible entire box office run. But I feel like this is more of a, what's it called? More of a not one up, but like more of a positive case for Oppenheimer, because bro, if you just put it in perspective, like Dune Part 2 is like, a sci-fi action, great visual, like it's five sci-fi action, bro, compared to a fucking 3-hour biopic or whatever it's called, fucking shit about Oppenheimer creating the atomic bomb, where there's no action in it, just fucking long extended dialogue scenes, and not to say like the visuals aren't great, but like, it's not a quote unquote crowd pleaser, it ended up being one, but that's not the recipe for a crowd pleaser movie. It just, hey, it's a well-made fucking movie. So what can I say? But sci-fi. So it's just like, it's interesting to see like how this stacks up to that. And so I think, not even. I mean, I guess we could speculate to see. I think Dune will touch $1 billion. I just again. I can't say that, because the only social media I really use is Twitter, and so again, that is just such and the word of mouth on Twitter about Dune is crazy, but it's just such a small, minuscule portion of the overall discussion on whatever said topic, in this case, Dune. And so, again, that I just feel like, but just going off that and just assuming that is the type of conversations that's happening around, other platforms and whatnot, that positive word of mouth. I feel like this really, and then on top of that, strong positive word of mouth, it's actually a action movie per se, it's not like necessarily one, but like it just has those elements to make it a good time, or more enjoyable time. Now, I'm not even, because I'm like dancing around that statement, because that's kind of like implying that Oppenheimer isn't enjoyable, God, I cannot speak. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. That's not saying that Oppenheimer isn't an enjoyable time, but it's just to say it just has those elements that are more. And then I think Oppenheimer is rated R too. I could be wrong about that, but then it's you get Dune PG-13. It's more of a, what the fuck I'm trying to say. Jesus Christ. But yeah. Well, will Dune 2 touch $1 billion? I think so. Touch $1 billion. And then also Austin Butler, who played Fade Rotha, says he was inspired by Heath Ledger and Gary Oldman for his role as Fade, which is, you can very clearly see. There was when he says when he mocks fucking Paul during the final fight, and he says, "May thy knife chip or shatter." Or and shatter or whatever. That delivery was very, very Heath Ledger when he's about to get Jesus, that's kind of getting spoilers, but yeah, I can see that for sure. And then also so this last piece of news. This from, oh fuck, I gotta actually find where this comes from, because it's just a random ass piece of I guess trivia. Not even trivia, but I just gotta see where. Fuck. Why is this doing this? Why is this doing this? All right. Let's see. Bro. For some reason, bro, on my computer, that's so weird. On my computer, when like I said, I explained this before. When I send stuff to myself, I send it back and forth between my two accounts, and for some reason, bro, it does not pop up on my computer. But let me find this, where this piece of news, who said this, because it is kind of just like random, and I want to. Okay, so this is from Joe Russo, who he is, okay, I don't know. He just, I guess it's a podcast or some shit. But anyways, he said, I asked a Dune VFX artist why the visual effects are so much better in it than other recent blockbusters, and the artist said, specificity of vision, the way that the footage is captured and blocked, the creative choices made on the assets early and consistently, less executive meddling in the late process. So yeah, it just like, it's such a no-brainer on VFX. And he's just like, there's no excuse on why. And this is not, and I'm I'm purely to really stress this. This is not on the artist at all. This is a management problem. This is, either higher ups like CEOs or, whatever the case, or the directors themselves not having a specified vision. this is just such common sense, and it's just like, why do you create? And it's just like they know this. If you fucking have a product or a thing to work on, and you give yourself ample amount of time to work on it, you can make it the best you can fucking make it, and you're not time crunched. That I feel like that's a literally a no brainer. Is it not? And so it's like, okay, you give this person to work on this this VFX scene, and you have what you want at the beginning of production or whatever the case, and then they finish that scene early. Now they have time to fucking polish and make it the look at best that it could be. Instead of you get like this rushed fucking shit like She-Hulk, or you get this rush visuals of Ant-Man Quantumanium, or whatever fucking whatever Marvel movie or show is like looking ass this month, or whatever the case. It's just like, the answer is right there. Why are you not taking the proper steps to fucking it's just so frustrating, because honestly, it's just, I feel like it is a management thing, but it's also just like I feel like it's a money thing too. Actually, I don't even want to. It is a money thing. I refuse to elaborate. Anyways, let's get into some Dune talk. So this would be the last thing before I get into, everything Dragon Ball and whatnot. So if you haven't seen Dune yet, I'll probably be getting into some spoilers. I'm not gonna talk too long about it, but I'll be getting into some things that I just didn't mention in my review. But yes. So if you haven't seen Dune 2 yet, don't want to know any spoilers, there'll be time codes below. Skip ahead to the Dragon Ball talk or whatever. And yeah, so some things that I just didn't mention. I didn't even mention the fucking director, Denis Villeneuve. Fucking phenomenal job. Great fucking job, bro. He's been like storyboarding this shit since he was like a teen, and this has just been a passion project, and that's probably like speaks to like the quality and the care and attention that were took and given to this movie, and why it turned out so great. But yeah, he did his Dougie, and I didn't even fucking mention him in the review, which was, a very big overlook on my part. So my apologies. And seeing this movie just makes me want to go check out all his other movies. I was checking out Prisoners with my girl, but she said she didn't want to watch it because it was too depressing. So I got to check that out on my own. But a big one is Blade Runner 2049. That's been on my radar forever, or been on my movie watch list forever. But it's just, I just got to get around to watch the original one, and just haven't done that. But yeah, that's seeing Dune 2 has put me on a Dune obsession and got me obsessed with his work. So it's definitely gonna get on to those. Hold on. So I didn't mention Dave Bautista's character, right? What is his name? Rotha or something? No, that's Fade Rotha. Raban or something like that. Okay, I said he is a fraud, but that's all I really said about his character during the review. And I didn't really touch on like the subtleties, which I noticed at the time, but it's just, getting swept up in everything and whatnot. I just forgot to mention it. And I didn't put it in my notes, which I should have, but I just didn't really touch on like the subtleties of his character. Yeah, he's just like this rage-induced like monster and just loses his temper and whatnot. But Dave Bautista brings us like obsessiveness to the performance that is really great. Oh, I didn't even fucking mention, I went and I watched this movie for a second time, and that's where this Dune 2 more Dune talk is coming from. Yeah, bro, I can't get this movie out of my head, bro. I really can't. I'll get into it, but I fucking like cramping my foot. But yeah, he brings this obsessiveness to the role. Like when he's when they're on the, what's it called? When he's on the orthopter helicopter shit, and they're going to bomb the, what's it called? They're trying to get their get back because they destroyed one of their outposts or whatever. And he's like looking on the ground for them or whatever, and like Dave Bautista's character just has like his mouth like damn near open and drooling. Like he just has this subtle obsessiveness and like this maybe yeah, I don't know another word to describe it, but he just has a subtleness to it, and I just didn't really highlight. And Dave Bautista is just a really good actor. and he's like one of the better wrestlers turned actors that's come out in recent times, and he's just, I don't know, I just really wanted to give him his flowers. I didn't really touch on Lady Jessica's ferociousness either, and just like in the beginning, and I saw there's a really really good point on Twitter. Like in the beginning though, before I saw that point, but when she fucking comes in and smashes that Harkonnen soldier's head in with the rock to protect Paul, it just her. I kind of touched on it, but not really. She has this fucking this intenseness, bro. That is just so fucking great to see. And I think I've been seeing her actress more on pop up on my Twitter. I think her name's like Jessica Ferguson. Yeah, no, Rebecca Ferguson. My fault. So yeah, she's a. Is she in a lot of the? Is she in all the Mission Impossibles? I don't know. I'm looking at her list right now. She's in I haven't seen that one. Men in Black International. But yeah, from what I've been seeing, she's a really. I mean, from what I saw in fucking Dune, but from what I've been seeing in other movies, she's really good as well. But yeah, she's super solid. And then the score. Hold on, I gotta look at this up because the score by Hans Zimmerman, it really reminded me in some points. I don't know if you guys seen the movie The Life of Pi. This guy, he gets stuck on a boat with a tiger, and he's just recounting that story and just the things he taught him and whatnot, and just the loss that comes with that. And so the score really reminded me of some stuff in The Life of Pi, especially that the main what's it called? The main theme for like Chani and Paul's like link up. It's just like this really, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to put in words. I haven't really thought about it much, but just their main theme reminds me of The Life of Pi. And there's also, this is obviously, it's by Hans Zimmerman, which he did, I think, the Dark Knight sound or score. There's some like Dark Knight Rises vibes in there, like that chant scene where like Bruce is trying to get out of what's it called, the pit, and they do that chant. I feel like there's those type of like vibes and shit because I listened to the score on Spotify, and that's how I know I'm in too deep with the movie, and I just like love everything about it. So when I go and try to listen to the score, and so yeah, that's how I know I'm in too deep, bro. But bro, that this the and I keep coming back to the score because just that theme of when Paul's like arriving in the South for the first time, to before he makes that like fire ass speech, I'm the Lisa Al Gaib and shit like that, bro. That music, it just if I could be tweaking on this, but it would make sense. But there's melodies or whatever in the Harkonnen type songs, and that are dealing with like the scenes that show the Harkonnens inside of the theme of Paul going into like arriving in the South for the first time. There's like, I feel like there's similarities in the music, and they use similar melodies and whatnot, and similar, my music jargon is not all the way there and like how to describe it, but so I apologize on that tip. But yeah, it was cool because you get Paul saying to fully get where like he needs to be, he has to embrace being Harkonnen, and it's like to get that connection inside of obviously the story, but then with the music, it really brings that home, bro. It really hit, and I didn't mention this. It really hit when Paul's reluctancy to go to the South and fan the flames of the false prophecy. He says like it's really hard, like because it's friends to followers. Like you literally see it with Stilgar. Like it's literally he starts off like it's kind of like comedic. Like I mentioned this in the review, but this is someone that like taught him, like he's a teacher and shit. Now he's like someone that's worshiping him now, and so it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And I didn't really touch on Austin Butler's acting as Fade. I just said he was a freak boy, but he just, like I said, bro, or when I said earlier that Heath Ledger type of inspiration, like you really feel that, like when he's drooling, when he's like damn near fucking, when he's getting stabbed, when he's about to get stabbed, and when he's on the Harkonnen home planet in the arena facing the Atreides, soldier or whatever. It's like he has like this same with, and it's cool though because you see it. I feel like you see it in all the Harkonnens we get to see. You see this obsessiveness with the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen or whatever. You see his obsessiveness with Dune, with the Arrakis planet. You see the obsessiveness with Batista's character, with with the stuff he's dealing with, and you see that type of obsessiveness with Fade, and it's just cool to see that, in all like that that is the Harkonnen way, just to be fucking intense and crazy as fuck, and so he really, especially when he is fighting, when I mentioned before, when he mocks Paul during their final fight, and he said, may thy blade chip and shatter. Like that type of like, just that line delivery, bro. It's just, it has so much inside of it, like so much to impact. Like he's mocking Paul, but at the same time he's like, he respects him as a fighter. Like he says the same thing to Paul as he says to the Atreides when he kills them in the arena. You fought well, Atreides. And it's like, it's just, it's such, I don't know. He just brings a lot of, and he doesn't get a lot of screen time, but the screen time that he works with, it's impactful. All of it is impactful. And I feel like that goes with every character in this. Every character that doesn't get a lot of screen time, they're still impactful when they're on screen. And speaking of performances, though, I said that I didn't really like what's his face, Christopher Walken as the Emperor, and it does. Don't get me wrong, because his voice and his just accent, it feels just so out of place for what's going on. And I said this in my review. That's kind of weird to say, and considering all this crazy sci-fi shit that's happening, but it's just like I don't know. It just really does not fit in the universe. But to say though. And that's just his voice. His performance, which I really didn't catch until the second watch. It just has this subtleness that is great. And like I said, like each character doesn't have a lot of screen time, but they are so impactful with it. Even though I didn't like his like accent and stuff and whatever, it didn't really fit. Christopher Walken brought this this energy to the role where it was like this energy of royalty, but this kind of the end of it. Like he's really good at playing, like, this is a head guy in charge, but he's meek. He's like he's losing his grip. And like I feel like in the subtleness in his performance, it's you really feel that. And for example, when I forgot which point exactly. I don't know if this is after the fight or is it when Paul first confronts the emperor, but at whatever point, I think it's after the fight. But if it's after the fight, when he beats Fade, and like you get this shot of the emperor, and he kind of just has his head down a little bit, and you could see just like it's a really good I don't know what's the right term for it, like body performance or body expressiveness. I don't know, but it's just it really portrayed like damn defeat type shit. And I feel like that is what he brought to the role. And even though like, his accent and whatever didn't really gel well with me, his subtleness and his performance was really great. And I didn't really say that. And so I wanted to come back and say that. Something I didn't mention though is the use of the word Dune, like the title drop of the movie. Actually, before I get to that, speaking of the Emperor still, and another a couple other examples of like, that meekness or that sense of defeat, or Emperor going out in defeat when Paul beats Fade and he wants the Emperor to recognize his win and kiss his ring. It's like he's just like looking at the Emperor, and just like, again, he just portrays that look of defeat so well. And then when Paul like stomps his foot and like kisses his fucking ring, like he just like looks so defeated, and he really portrayed that well. And then also when at the beginning of the movie, when Florence Pugh's character is talking about how the Emperor had Leto, Paul's dad, murdered, and like that was someone he considered like a son, and he just says nothing about it. Like he just goes on about what goes on about his business. But you just, again, he just has this look to him, like it's eating him up, but like it just, keep it pushing type beat. But back to the point of the word use of the word Dune, and like, dropping the title name. Both times they did it in the movies, in both movies, was fucking fire. The first one, Vladimir Harkonnen says it, or whatever his name is. I think it's his name. He's talking about like he's obsessing over Arrakis. He's like, I gotta get Arrakis back. I gotta get it. I gotta get my Dune back. And I didn't do justice at all. But the way he says it, the music behind it, and like that, it's a very, very good use of that title, like drop of name or whatever. And then when Paul does it in the second movie, when he's making that crazy speech, when he's submitting himself in the false prophecy, and he's convincing everyone, and he uses it. How does it go? He's talking about someone's dream, and he's like, this happened when your grandma went through this when she was young, and this was a time when Arrakis was called Dune. And it's just another crazy like title drop, and it worked both times they did it. It was super impactful. They didn't have to do it, but the way every time they did it, it was super, super impactful. And that is it on Dune Talk. And I probably won't have another Dune Talk. I definitely will see the movie again. But I'm letting it breathe a little bit. Because with Spider-Verse, bro, I knew I was in too deep, bro. I was listening to the soundtrack, all the shits, listening to the score. I kind of ran that movie into the ground. I've seen it like 5 times in theaters, bro. And at least like 2 more times out of theaters when it came to digital. But it's just like, Dune is like, I kind of don't want to overdo it, bro. I want to leave it as something like as a special experience. And so I definitely want to see it one more time in theater, but it's gonna probably be more towards the end of its theatrical run. Hopefully I can catch it in IMAX. I did not watch this movie in IMAX. I want to experience it in IMAX, but I'm just letting it breathe a little bit because I don't want to overdo it and kind of just get tired of the movie. But yeah, I probably won't do another Dune talk, but I'm on the Dune train right now. But as we go into our main topic, which is sadly getting into Akira Toriyama's passing, and yeah, it is sad for sure. But this is a celebration of his work. But I just want to get into, so this is an official statement from his team. They said, "Dear friends and partners, we are deeply saddened to inform you that manga creator Akira Toriyama has passed away on March 1st due to acute subdural hematomia. He was in age of 68. And our deep regret that he still had several works in the middle of creation with great enthusiasm. Also, he would have had many other things to achieve, many more things to achieve. However, he has left many manga titles and works of art to this world." Jeez, I'm sorry, I'm really butchering this. The text is kind of small. Let me try to enlarge it. We inform you this sad news with gratefulness of your kindness during his lifetime. Funeral services was held by his family and few relatives. Following his wishes for tranquility, we respectfully inform you that we would not accept flowers, condolence gifts, visitings, offerings, and any others and others. Also, we ask you to refrain from conducting interviews with his family. Future plan for commemorate? Jesus, I can't pronounce this word. Gathering is not decided. We will let you know when it's confirmed. We deeply thank you for your understanding and support as always. Yeah, so that's very, very unfortunate. He's basically, bro, he ushered in a new fucking, maybe anime, but just like a new era of anime fans. Actually, that's what I will say. Just so many, just speaking from like the black community, African American black community, bro, so many of us, our introductions, and of course this is not everyone, but so many of us anime introductions are with Dragon Ball, bro. Like before I even fucking knew, like I said earlier, what fucking media, movie, TV shows was, Dragon Ball was around, bro, in some form capacity. Whether it's coming on fucking Toonami or whatever the case, fucking playing the games, watching Dragon Ball movies or whatever, bro. It's been around, bro. It's ingrained in my life. It's ingrained in my childhood. And he's just, with this passing, and just with his, not even with his passing, with his, because I want to keep this as like a celebration of his work. With his work and contribution, he has inspired so many and touched so many lives. But before we just get into everything Dragon Ball and just like, reminiscing on, what type of, just Dragon Ball shit, I just want to, some tributes that I collected just from seeing them on Twitter and whatnot. But like he the One Piece author, and like various manga authors, One Piece, like the Naruto creator, all paying tribute to him, and of just like these big names that like ushered in, are really the pillars of some anime, are paying homage to him. That just like speaks to his goatness, Like you have literally government officials mourning his passing. The fucking like what's it called? Like El Salvador has made a declaration, a nationwide declaration mourning his passing. Like the Chinese government is mourning his passing. Like you get, you literally, what president is this? Is this Emmanuel Macron? Like he has a signed like picture from Toriyama paying tribute. He's like a sitting president, I guess. I don't know what. President of the French Republic, like he's paying homage to Toriyama. Like, bro, his reach is so deep. His work is so influential. Like literally in the sign language signing for Dragon Ball isn't like dragon plus ball. It's literally the motion of a fucking Kamehameha. Like you have your like, bro, that is iconic, brother. He's touched so many lives. Like the actor who played what's it called, Goku in the Dragon Ball Evolution movie, which was hey, that was a guilty pleasure of mine. But he even like came out and he said, "Rest in peace, rest in peace, brother. And sorry we messed up that adaptation so badly." And like it's like, bro, like. The Smurfs official account came out and made official tribute to Toriyama. Like they made artwork. They literally have Kid Goku floating on Nimbus talking to a Smurf. We want to help you, but we have no Dragon Balls hidden in our village. Like, bro, come on, bro. Like, it just sucks, bro. It sucks. It really does suck. The fucking, and not even mention, the creator of the entire genre of manga literally paid tribute, and this was like not recently, but when he was still alive, paid tribute to Toriyama. I think his name is Osamu Tezuka's death. He died in 1989, not fucking 18, Jesus. But yeah, bro, it's just like, it sucks, bro. It sucks, bro. But he touched a lot of lives, and it's great seeing everyone come together. And again, on Twitter, just remember him and remember his work. It's really cool, bro. It's really cool seeing everyone post like their favorite moments and whatnot. But just to celebrate his work, bro, I just want to get into everything Dragon Ball and just some quick stuff that I seen on Twitter. And someone brought up, I don't know if you guys are hip, but Jalen the Super Saiyan, we wouldn't have gotten Jalen the Super Saiyan without him. It's basically, this shit came out in like early YouTube days, like 2020, fucking 2010, 2009. But it's basically this kid, a 2-minute video of this kid, this black kid, trying to go Super Saiyan, and he's like doing the fucking drawn out like power up, like when Goku was tripping on Namek, and he's like his head's going up and down and shit, like just fucking filled to the brim with anger, and like he's basically yelling for a straight minute plus and just trying to go Super Saiyan. And at the end, he's like, "I'm Jalen, and I'm a Super Saiyan." And it's just super. It was at the time, it was super cringy and super funny. Right now, the cringiness is I don't know. I don't feel that. It's just it's really funny, and there's an edit of him actually like going Super Saiyan, which is really fun. But we wouldn't have got like shit like that, and there's just been a bunch of references in other animes of Dragon Ball, just the impact it's had. And I have like these. There's a couple threads from a couple Twitter accounts of people just posting their favorite Dragon Ball moments, which I might get into, but I guess I just want to freestyle what fucking Dragon Ball, what it meant to me. And bro, I think so. Like I said, Dragon Ball has been around for basically my whole life. I really don't remember a time in my life where Dragon Ball wasn't a thing. And I think what a big part before even I got to see it on, this is so early in my life, so I could be like misremembering, but I just feel the games were, long story short, the games were something that really introduced me into the world of Dragon Ball and introduced me to everything, put me on that path. Like playing the Budokai games. Oh, even before that, playing Dragon Ball Z sagas with my older brother and playing stuff like that, bro. And just, playing the old Budokai games, before Tenkaichi, the old Budokai games, and just getting smacked around by my brother on those, and like just crying because I could never win and shit like that, and then finally getting introduced to the Tenkaichi games, and like no cap, bro, those were some of the first games that I were really ever good at. Like I was literally beating my older cousins, and if you aren't hip to those games, what I'm going to say won't make a lot of sense. But if you are hip to them, what I'm about to say makes a lot of sense. I was literally beating them with Chiaotzu, and they were fucking Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Kid Buu and shit like that. And I was beating them with fucking low tier characters, and like those were really, I feel like, where my obsession with Dragon Ball started. Or really, I liked it before, but that's where the obsession started. And I'm not even I'm wearing Dragon Ball Z sweats and a Dragon Ball Z shirt right now, so I guess that is an obsession. And I guess I have a fucking Vegeta poster right behind me. Jesus, all right. So yeah, obsession. I guess I wasn't trying to say I was obsessed, but I guess I am. It was with those games, and they're just a really big part of my childhood. And fucking playing Tenkaichi and just the Sparking Zero coming back, bro. It's just, bro, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then even beyond that, actually, let's look up the Dragon Ball games. Fucking Raging Blast, bro. Raging Blast 2. Fucking introducing, I don't know. See, I didn't play Raging Blast 1, but Raging Blast 2 introducing Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and then Super Saiyan 3 Broly. That was fucking crazy. Getting to play as Tarble. Like, bro. And then I remember in that game, it came with like a movie. A movie that you had to watch to unlock this character. It's like fucking, what was his name? I forgot his name, but it was not even, I don't remember it, but it was fun. It was a fun movie watching it. But yeah, fucking Raging Blast 2. Let me see these old. I remember Ultimate Tenkaichi, bro, and that game was kind of an overall disappointment. But then that was like the first, not even the first, but the first that I experienced where you can like create your character. So that was like the big thing about that. It was like super fucking rock paper scissors gameplay. And I remember this one. I was fighting. It was like the Red Dragon or some shit. I don't know, bro. It was a super hard fucking boss fight. But that's like bleeding into like why Xenoverse was such a big deal for. For me and maybe other people, or the reason is just like you got a taste of that character creation in a shit game, and then you get it in Xenoverse, and it was like, oh my fucking gosh, like I could like turn Super Saiyan, like that's fucking lit, bro. And so Xenoverse was like Xenoverse will always be like, so that's how I look at the games. Like Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi is like the Dragon Ball simulator Like that makes you feel like the characters. That makes you like the power difference between the characters. You feel those. Like that is the Dragon Ball simulator, you know. And then Xenoverse is like the character creation side of things. Like you got to create, your own character in this narrative and whatnot, which is super fun. And then you get like the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot side of things, which I think is like the maybe definitive story game for Dragon Ball, like to just experience the whole story, and not even the whole story, I guess through Z and on type shit, until they maybe do some they did some Dragon Ball stuff, but I don't know they like told the whole story. But that's a definitive Dragon Ball story game, and then you get Fighter Z, which is like the actual competitive side of things, and so you on the fighting game side of things, and so that's how I look at like the main classes of Dragon Ball games, and I feel like those are the most popular ones. Like per se, of course, you get your bangers here and there. Like I see people talk about like I don't know, fucking I'm not sure. Like, there's a bunch of Dragon Ball games to be honest, but I think probably my favorite out of them all is definitely Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. That's definitely my favorite out of all, bro. And that's what makes me so hyped for Sparking Zero. Like, oh man, that is about to be a banger, bro. But even still, though, just I guess reminiscing on, I remember like I would literally go up to my mom's job and print and use all their printer and their printer paper and their ink to print fucking different Super Saiyan transformations, like fucking seeing Gohan in Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan 5, Super Saiyan 100 with all the hair, like different type of fusions, seeing fucking Yamcha and Krillin fused, and like what the fuck do I need to see that for? Seeing fucking Tien and Piccolo fused, like it's just, bro, I just look up so much dumb shit, and I had this huge, I think it's called like Manila folder of just straight Dragon Ball, just pictures of just random shit, and bro, it's just Dragon Ball, man, Dragon Ball. And then I guess before I just get into like some top Dragon Ball moments and whatnot. I just want to just to talk about the key Dragon Ball things in my life, but continuing with that, fucking the Dragon Ball Z Broly movie, bro. That was my favorite piece of Dragon Ball like media for the longest time, and I think obviously it's not the best, but that was just my favorite. And then the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, which now is my favorite piece of Dragon Ball. I'll get into that, but Dragon Ball Z Broly, bro. When it's like this movie, like kind of, I don't want to go that fucking hyperbolic, but changed my life type shit. Just seeing Broly just decimate the Z fighters that way, bro. It's just something just. Seeing Broly come in and just wreck shit was just a beautiful sight. Seeing Trunks get dogged out, seeing Gohan get dogged out, seeing Goku get dogged out, seeing Piccolo get dogged out, seeing Vegeta get dogged out. Bro, like that was blowing my kid brain. Just seeing Broly just turn into this hulking mass, literally ripping up his former body to make way for the legendary Super Saiyan, bro. Like that's the type of shit that got my gears fired up, bro. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like you do not know how many times I watched that movie in my lifetime, bro. It just seeing Broly turn into the most ultimate shit talker of all time, like coming from this like meek, soft-spoken type of person. Now he's fucking making these deadly ass threats, saying he's gonna literally blows up a slave's planet, bro. Like he was a goblin, a menace on the battlefield, bro. It's just, bro. Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, is that movie, and it's just crazy that we got Broly, the Super Broly movie, and it's just that like. I'm making a video on this, and it's actually filmed, and I'm editing it now. It's gonna take a while though. It's a pretty long video, but just that fucking, we got the Broly coming back in canon, but with actual meaningful story meant so much to me, and to like not even like saying like, oh my god, the Broly movie is the most profound movie ever, but it just gave characterization, meaningful characterization to my favorite villain ever in the series. And he was just in a movie, not even a part of the main like timeline. He wasn't canon. They brought him canon, bro. That meant so much to me and my brother, bro. We went to go see that movie for the first time. Oh my goodness. And just and it just being blowing my expectations out of the water. Like of and it's because like I was not a super big fan of like the overall narrative of Super, so I was just like, okay, at the very least, it's gonna be some fun fighting because that's what the original Broly movie is. It's just some fun fighting. The narrative is fucking dog shit, but it's just like, okay, at the very least, I'll get that. But it was that and more. And so it was just like, oh my gosh, bro, the cinematography, the fucking fights, the music, the narrative, the subtleness of the story, everything about it is top tier, bro. Of course, it has its problems here and there, but just overall, bro, I think the Super Dragon Ball Broly movie is literally. I mean, of course, I will. You could argue with me, of course, but it's literally some of the best, if not the best, piece of Dragon Ball. It's for sure the best Dragon Ball movie, but it's just it's one of the most well-rounded pieces of Dragon Ball media, and of course, and I just mean that like it's as its own singular thing, like. As a whole, you know, you could say the fucking Namek saga, of course. You could say the fucking, you know, the Cell saga, of course. But like those are a large, multiple episodes making up a arc, you know, a saga, and making that thing. But like just as basically, I'm saying this where if you were to pick a single episode out of there, I mean, you could make that argument, but I think compared to the whole movie of the Broly, like it's not gonna stack up, you know. So I just feel like that singular piece of Dragon Ball media is probably the best that we've gotten, in my opinion. Just everything in that movie, bro. I'm making a video on it. I gotta get cracking on it because it was a fun script to write because I really really enjoyed rewatching it and picking apart and picking things out that I noticed on like the fucking 80th rewatch and whatnot. The only thing with that video though is I had to like my camera was kind of smudgy and I didn't really notice, and so the first like half of the video is a little bit blurry, but it's all right. But it just, bro, it really is crazy how much of an impact Dragon Ball has had on my life, and just it's crazy to think about. Because like the thing is, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, yeah, I think those are probably. I mean, of course, I have my other fucking pieces of Dragon Ball. Actually, yeah. So let's just get into some like great Dragon Ball moments though. What are some things that's like sticking out to me? And just before I get into like what the Twitter, some Twitter stuff. One thing I really like in Dragon Ball though is like when they do the more casual stuff with like their sand powers, like how we know when you get them trying to perfect Super Saiyan and they're just walking around in Super Saiyan form and whatnot, and then like I don't know if they're filler episodes, but you get Gohan, you know, going out into like the wilderness and helping. I forget the specific situation, but like. He's helping like this family cut wood, and like he's literally just doesn't even need an axe. He's just slicing it with his hand super fast, and just like little stuff like that. I really like when they like showcase how above they are with like their strength and abilities, and like and stuff like that. I really like when they do stuff in that nature. I was trying to think of like some other examples, but obviously a big thing. Oh, I'll talk about. Oh, that's something fun to talk about. My favorite characters. I made a whole fucking video on him. Future Trunks, bro. He's that guy and some more. Bro, Future Trunks. Akira Toriyama really made the sauciest character almost in fucking anime, bro. Like he is the blueprint for a lot of sauce, bro. Just his introduction alone is something to be fucking I can't even put it into words, bro. He comes in and he makes mince meat and obliterates Frieza, bro. He comes in and handles a fucking villain that Goku was fighting for like 80 episodes and realistically like 10 seconds. Bro, he came in and he did his Dougie. But one thing I really if you want to hear more in-depth thoughts on this, I guess go watch that. That's kind of a shithead plug. I mean, okay, whatever, forget that. But I didn't want to plug a video during fucking playing tribute to. I guess I already did that one saying making a Broly video, but that didn't count. It's not made yet. But anyways, just like what makes Trunks such a cool character, just beyond his sauce and his play no games demeanor is like he's very, very flawed. Like he's a very broken character. He's not confident in himself, or at least initially he's not. He's like really second guessing himself, and he's like more of the nuanced characters. And I think that's something. I think that kind of gets a little lost in the newer Dragon Ball and Super and stuff. But you get these more nuanced characters with Piccolo, Vegeta, Trunks, and in different ways, of course. But yeah, he's just very flawed. He's very broken. Like he comes from a fucking timeline where everyone he knows and loves that we know and love were killed, and so he hasn't had the same training experiences with them and built the same relationships, so he missed out on a lot of that stuff. And just it's really his character's interesting. I don't think he's, of course, handled well in every regard, but I really thought he should have been a part of the main cast after Super. After the events dealing with him in Super, he really should have brought on board to the main cast. He definitely would have made really had a bunch of fun interactions. There's still stuff to play with his character, but yeah, Future Trunks is definitely not even underrated. He's fairly rated, maybe even overrated, but he just doesn't get the proper love. Like, Broly coming back, like they should have. Of course, Broly wasn't canon, but they're capable of folding in characters, of different things. I guess I don't know what I was trying to say there, but he's just a character that definitely should have been folded into the main cast. Fucking Vegeta, his father, my second favorite character. Vegeta is just like, it's just these characters that Akira Toriyama created is just so fucking iconic, bro. Just Vegeta's journey throughout Dragon Ball is just something so endearing and just inspiring to see. Just his stubbornness, his tenacity, his will, it's great stuff to want. Of course, there's negatives of it, but overall, and just Dragon Ball is a great show to get inspiration from, and just to really keep your foot on the gas and keep going. And Akira Toriyama, there's this like comic or this little panel I seen. It was just like he said like we should all strive to like work as hard as Goku or something. And he's like, I'll try my best to work as hard as Goku, and he's like, I'll try my best to work as hard as Goku, and you should too, something like that. And it's just like, stuff like that, and just the work ethic of like Vegeta and stuff. Like those are things that like you can draw inspiration from to apply to your own life. Of course, this is not strictly Dragon Ball. Like I feel like that's kind of like shonen as a whole. But he kind of set the fucking building blocks to some of this shit. I feel like that's kind of maybe yapping out my ass and just not being, really familiar with other mangas of that time going on at that time. But, he like there's so many riff characters off of Vegeta, Vegeta, bro. He's just that, just like with Trunks, bro. I was gonna say, he's that guy, but he's in most cases he gets his moments to shine here and there. But in most cases, he is not that guy. He gets humbled a lot, but even coming from that coming back from that humbling though I think is the thing, and he just always comes back from it stronger, and that's kind of the thing with the Saiyans. But he just really embodies that and just really he's a great character. He's just a great character. And honestly, he would be my favorite character if Trunks wasn't so fucking fly, bro. If he wasn't fucking fly as shit, he would probably be my favorite character. But Trunks also just has that emotional depth that is, I wouldn't say necessarily lacking from a lot of Dragon Ball characters, but it's just not super. It doesn't go super deep with a lot of characters, and I feel like Piccolo, Vegeta, and Trunks are some of the ones that really have that more deeper emotional nuance. And you know, Vegeta has that too, but you know, Trunks is just flyer. It is what it is. But yeah, and then speaking of Piccolo, you know, his journey and how, you know, where he starts in, like, you know, there's Demon King Piccolo and stuff, or and King Piccolo. And so, but just his journey at the beginning of Z, and just how, you know, him and Goku aren't friends, like, and just how they go from that, you know, him helping him kill fucking Raditz, and then him raising his son, raising Gohan for a period of time, and building that relationship with Gohan. And I really love his relationship with Gohan and what that means, and like how that develops, and how involved Piccolo then comes with Pan and stuff like that, and just seeing, you know, seeing Gohan toughen up into a warrior, you know, and then seeing Piccolo get that kind of softer side from caring for Gohan and whatnot. Like that's beautiful, bro. And I do get on Dragon Ball for not mainly Super, just for not having those more emotional moments, but it definitely does. But like, that is, I feel like, when Dragon Ball is purely at its strongest, though, when it has those mix of those emotional, hard-hitting character moments, and then it has that huge spectacle of the nuts to butts fighting and throwing people through mountains and whatnot. It just has, when it has the mix of those two things, bro, Dragon Ball is operating at its full potential, and it's beautiful to see. And it's just, you know, you get a lot of that from these more complex relationships with these characters, that is not entirely too prevalent in the overall narrative of Dragon Ball. And again, that's not to say it's not there, but that's not necessarily the highlight in some of these more recent cases. Let's see, what is some other great stuff? Talking about Broly, Piccolo, he's great. Gohan, Gohan's cool. I'm just trying to think of like my favorite characters. Super Saiyan 4. I know that's not Akira Toriyama, but hey, it's everything Dragon Ball, and he was the base of that. You know, he spawned that in Super Saiyan 4, bro. Favorite transformation. Favorite color is red. You get the red fur. Fucking, you get the dipped out outfits that come out of nowhere. Vegeta's rocking some fucking jeans and a belt and some boots with no shirt. Like, where the fuck did that come from? Or is that his fit? No, but when he changes into Super Saiyan 4, he always goes to that fit. So that's just like some, I don't know. But it's just like, bro, I don't want to plug another one of my videos, but fucking Super Saiyan 4 should have been the next stage of canon of transformations. That would have been great. I still think there's room for God, but that should have been the next wave of transformations for a bit. But yeah, what's it called? Super Saiyan 4, bro. It's just icy. And then you get Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, bro. He is a dog and then some. He's a dog and then some, bro. His fit is magical, literally. Like, his fit is fucking ethereal. Like, Jesus. Drip master, bro. Speaking of drip, bro, the drip in Dragon Ball is fucking great. You get fucking, when one of my favorite looks for Goku is when he's in that orange and black jacket, and I think it's a filler episode. When he's in that orange and black jacket, like, that's a fit. When Vegeta's in the Batman shirt, that's a fit. When Piccolo's wearing the I think a backwards cap in that one yellow shirt, that's a fit. Like, Trunks, that's a fit. The sand armor, you know, without the shoulder pads and shit, that's a fit. Like, come on, bro, you're getting these fits left and right, bro. What anime is bringing you these type of fucking fits like this? Just this fire drip, bro. Just like, and I'm not even saying no intro shit either. Just on some like, you know, everyday designs type shit. Like, bro, they're dipped to the nines. Like, come on, bro. Let's see. Oh, some of my other favorite villains, like fucking Cooler, fire shit. He needs to be folded into canon. Like, come on, bro. Frieza's older brother. Like that's fire. Honestly, I'm gonna say that I could be easily some super. Like, what's the shit going on in the manga right now? Like, where Frieza's at right now? What if he linked up with Cooler and really took it to the next level? That would be a lit way to incorporate Cooler into canon, bro. And just like, you thought I was trouble, now I got a big bro with me, and we're about to dog you. Like, that would be lit, bro. Jeez, come on, bro. They need to do that. But yeah, Cooler's fire, and then you get the stuff in Heroes Dragon Ball or something like that. Dragon Ball Heroes or Super Dragon Ball Heroes, which is not superhero the movie or whatever. But this is like this non-canon series that just brings a lot of crazy shit to life, like fucking Golden Cooler. Like, come on, bro. I'm not gonna spoil the other form, but it's like, what if we see Cooler in that form, just linked up with Frieza, bro? That would be lit. But like, yeah. So, Cooler, he was great. Meta Cooler was fire. He was really dogging. Meta Cooler was dogging Goku and Vegeta in that movie. Who else? I love Super Android 17. Super Android, the blue one. The other one too. The 17 and 18. Bro. No cap, bro. I keep saying it. I know I'm a pretty big fan of Dragon Ball, but I always get Android 18 and 17 confused. But I'm pretty sure Android 17 is the guy one, right? And 18 is the girl. Yeah, 17 is the guy. Yeah, so Super Android 17 and GT, and then the movie with Super Android, was it 16? The one that turns blue. Is it 16? Or is it 20? No, 21's the Majin shit, right? Android's. Oh wait, no, 6. Who the fuck is this? No, why did this random ass picture come up? All right, anyways, yeah, 16's the one that makes Gohan go Super Saiyan 2. But what's the one I'm talking about? It's not. It can't be 21, bro. That's the Super Boot shit. I don't know their deal. Fucking hell. 13. Is it 13? No. Wait. Who is? Oh, it is 13. That's crazy. It's my favorite number. I didn't really make that connection. But yeah, Super Android 13. He's fun. I really like his character design. And then, playing with him in Tenkaichi 3 and whatnot. BoJack, he's pretty cool. I like him and his gang. Who else? Let's talk about Super a little bit. I know I've been kind of ragging on Super, but I feel like Super has some decent ideas, but it's just the execution is not there. But like Goku Black as an idea is a fucking fire idea. But it just, the whole Zamasu and that thing taking over everybody, I don't really think that is fire. But just the idea of an evil Goku in a different timeline, that's really fun idea to play with. Maybe it would have been even more fun to play with maybe if that was Goten, whatever, iron out the logistics to make that work, or if it was maybe Gohan, and that would have been cool. Again, iron out the logistics. Maybe we got a clash with Future Trunks and evil Gohan. That would have been cool to see. Even a Goten, evil grown up Goten, versus a Goku. That would have been still fun. Just the idea of Goku Black is or evil Saiyan that we know from a different timeline is a fun idea to play with. But and then I don't think the God transformations as a whole are really that interesting. But we get cool shit like the red hair, Rose, Ultra Instincts is super cool, but as a whole, I don't think it really. Anyways, I have a video explaining that, but again, it's not a plug. But hey, I don't feel like getting into that right now. But Rose is super cool, I think. But just in general, bro, Goku Black is a cool concept. But and then you just get cool characters like Hit. That's a cool concept like a assassin fighter type character. That's super lit. Let's see. Ultra Instinct. So that is super. Fucking Goku like grinding on a goddamn energy wave and blasting someone in the face with Kamehameha during the tournament of power. Like, that's fire. Again, like Ultra Ego. There's this. I feel like Ultra Instincts is a very cool challenge for Goku to master, and seeing him overcome that and what he has to do that is very interesting. And that's my thing on God Key. I just don't think it's very the looks are super inspired or really that different from anything. And that's like my main problem with them from a design standpoint, especially when you get like something like Super Saiyan 4 that is like the kind of, you know, the GT next set of transformations which look distinctly different. That's I think my problem with the God transformations. But and you know, you get fucking, you know, Goku versus Jiren from that broke the internet, had fucking anime sites crashing and whatnot, like had literally whole watch parties at venues to like, you know, because the fight was just that big, you know, fucking some pay-per-view bar UFC fight shit or boxing, you know, treating Dragon Ball like that, like that's crazy, like that's crazy. Who was I was talking about? Super. I still gotta watch the superhero movie. I didn't watch it because I didn't really like the animation style, which has grown on me over time, seeing various clips, and so I want to check it out. But then I also, what turned me off like just completely was seeing Beast Gohan. I did not like that design at all. That hair was way too tall. It just looks super goofy. But I gotta check that out. But saying though, that's coming in line with Super. I like the idea of Beast Gohan, and just, you know, that's Gohan's character. He always brings out an inner power, bro, and just goes crazy. Like that just plays with his character really well. But yeah, like I said though, Super had overall good concepts, but I just feel like the overall execution isn't there. What are some other highlights? I'm about to wrap this up soon. Bulma. I didn't even really talk about like the female characters in Dragon Ball and just how important they are. Like Bulma is literally the backbone of Dragon Ball. She created the dragon radar. Like she created she created a time travel machine that saved their timeline. She literally created the machine to turn Vegeta Super Saiyan 4 so they could even fuse to beat Omega Shenron. Like she's literally the backbone of everything Dragon Ball. The key, getting characters from one place to another. Like bro, Dragon Ball would not be a thing without her. It's crazy how OG Dragon Ball is so much better than, you know, Super and whatever, but that's not the case. But I didn't really talk about OG Dragon Ball, but like, you know, Goku. One of the hilarious moment is when you know, fucking, what's it called? Roshi does the Kamehameha for the first time to like, was it the first time? I'm not sure, but he does the Kamehameha to put out the fire on Chi-Chi's, on the Ox King's like mountain, or is that what the situation is? And like, you know, it's a big spectacle, and like he's telling Kid Goku, yeah, you gotta train for however long to, you know, do the Kamehameha wave, and then he just does it on a smaller scale, just does it instantly and breaks the car. Like he's just like, oh shit, this kid's kind of nice. And so speaking of fucking Chi-Chi and shit, and just they need to do more with Chi-Chi, and like she's a warrior too, and I know she's kind of like hung that up a little bit per se, but it's just like honestly I forgot. I fucking got a phone call, forgot where I was, but we've already been going for a bit, and you know, trying to keep these shows a little shorter. But I said there was no Marvel news this week, or like really comic book movie news, and I was gonna make the show shorter, and it was not shorter. God damn. But yeah, I'll probably honestly come up with more Dragon Ball topics, because it's kind of like got my brain thinking about, oh, I could do like the best and worst Dragon Ball games, like the best Dragon Ball Z characters and whatnot, and whatever the case. So that kind of spawned some main topics for, you know, future episodes. But, you know, I just wanted to talk everything Dragon Ball and just what the impact it had on my life and whatnot. And just like I said, Dragon Ball has been a part of my life since I could literally remember. But yeah, that's all in on that. Rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. You know, good energy to him and his people, his family, his team, and whatever, and what things of that nature. Just hope they all are mourning as best as they can. I don't know if that made sense, but yeah, rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. But as we coming to the last part of the show, into the weekly watch list this week, I mentioned during the Dune talk, I listened to the Dune score. So yeah, in too deep, bro. Um, yeah, the Dune score, bro, fire, fire, fire. Listening to it made me like the movie even more. Just like literally, like as the songs were playing, like okay, this was happening. This was happening during this part of the movie, and shit like that. And I was just very immersed, and I even cut it on while I was editing, and really locked in. So yeah, that was I was listening to that this week, and then I'm a little weak. I'm like a week late on this. Babyface E released a deluxe tape to his album called X, I think was the name. But it was a solid album, and he released some more tracks to it. Actually, let me go to it. Um, I think I added most of them except I think I added all of them except one to my playlist. Let me see. Let me see. Of course, it's on my god. All right, hold on. I have to go on my phone. Yo, it's called the X tape. Yeah, I added all of them except once. County Time, bro. I really like that one. Um, I gotta re-listen to these tracks again because I was trying to pick out my first one, but my favorite one. But yeah, I added all of them except Keep It P. It wasn't bad or anything, but yeah, definitely worth checking out, and a definitely good additions to the rest of the album. But back to there's a song called Fisher, and it's by hold on, who's it by? Cash Cobain and Bass Swag. So this was just on some straight just it was just really some smooth vibes type shit. Really I'm trying to like describe the subject of the song, but it really is on some smooth vibes. Definitely check it out. And I gotta check out these artists. I was a little hesitant too because when you listen to like a song or like a feature or an artist on a feature, and you go check out their music and it's nothing like that feature or whatever, and it could just be the case like damn they're just trying to play with their sound or finding their sound still or whatever the case. But I want to go check out those guys. It was a Cash Cobain and Bass Swag. See what their shit's hitting like. I've been kind of feeding for some more music, kind of outside of the Detroit area, and not even saying like I'm getting tired of the music or their sound or whatever, but just need to expand my horizons. I be in my own little bubble, and I gotta. It's important to branch out more. But yeah, I think might be some New York artists. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a vibey ass song. So go check that out. And the main topic that was gonna be for this week, it was gonna be a review of Ricky Stenicki. Sorry, it was like whatever. But yeah, this starred Zac Efron and John Cena, and came on Amazon Prime. And this movie was all right. The humor didn't really completely land with me, which is really disappointing. It's a comedy movie, which I guess is the whole point. But I just expected it to be a little bit funnier, especially with these. I find Zac Efron really funny, and I find John Cena really funny, and beyond them being funny, they're really great actors. And so I just thought it was gonna be a little bit better than it was, but it wasn't terrible. I'm actually glad that I didn't review it this week because probably wouldn't have much to say about it. But yeah, it's probably just to give it a quick rating, maybe like a 5. It just some of the jokes were just really weren't landing for me, and I laugh, and which is kind of unusual because I laugh at everything type shit, and so there's just this bit where like John Cena's character he would make masturbation songs on like different popular songs, and so like he would basically like, for instance, Michael Jackson's "Beat It," like he would turn the lyrics into some to deal with like masturbating or some shit, and it was like whatever as a joke, like okay, but then like it kind of like went on too long, and I was just like not really feeling it, and that was just like that didn't like kill the movie for me, but that was just like example of the comedy not landing, and there were some funny moments, but overall I don't think it really was that great. But then there was like some like a more of a heartfelt moment between John Cena and Zac Efron's character, and what's it called? It was a really good act. It was a really good performance from both of them. And then John Cena's and the performances in it I don't think they aren't bad at all. They're really good, but it's just the and I like the storyline of it too. The premise is really funny. Like it's these guys they make up there's a group of 3 friends, and they make up this 4th friend, and basically they call on him to get him out of situations. Like oh, Ricky is having surgery, so we gotta go be there for him in fucking a different state, and him and his friends go be there for him, but Ricky Snicky's not real, and they're really just partying or going to some concert or some shit like that. He's basically a excuse to do what they want, and they get themselves in a situation where Ricky Snicky has to become real, and so they run into John Cena's character earlier in the movie, and they end up calling him to play Ricky Stenicki, and shenanigans ensue. And I liked how it wrapped up, and then I liked, the premise itself was fine. Like, I feel like it's just the jokes and shit weren't landing. Like, the writing wasn't terrible or anything, I don't think. It's just, I just expected it to be funnier, and it's a comedy movie, so that's like, it's 50% of your thing, so yeah. But I've been reading Ultimate X-Men came out, the 2024 version, and it was written and the art was done by Peach. Hold on, because I want to get her name right, because it's important to get people's names right in general, but she's someone I haven't heard of before, and I really liked her work on this. So Peach Momoko, I that's what I thought her name was, but I wanted to make sure. But she did the writing and the art on it, and she did really good. So I was excited for this one to come up in the Ultimate lineup. Black Panther was kind of whatever to me, but I was really looking forward to this and Spider-Man, and this did not disappoint. I feel like the art is very stylized and distinct. Really feels like a manga type shit in that way, and so that's cool. And getting those, and just getting X-Men vibes and like manga vibes, that's a cool combination. And the story was really interesting and intriguing. I don't know about, so it's about this. Well, it said that we will be getting a look at other X-Men, but this is following Armor, and she's like, I'm not really familiar with her character at all. So it's cool getting a look at the character I don't know about, and her power set is interesting to see in so far, and like what she's dealing with, and like the antagonistic force in her story is really interesting. It really gives me some just not to give too much away. It really gives me some some horror. Junji a little bit. Is that like the horror manga author or series or something? I read it. It's like The Spiral or some shit. I read it. I read the manga. It's super creepy, but it kind of gives me those vibes a little bit. Not super, because that's super horror. Like, this is like more lighter kid horror, quote unquote. But yeah, I really like the art. Really like where the story is going so far. So yeah, go check that out. Ultimate X-Men 2024. But then still reading Ultimate X-Men, I've been reading through the Ultimate Universe. And first I was reading the whole thing, and then I was like, this is kind of a lot. Kind of just want to read Spider-Man. And then I was like, oh shit, the Fantastic Four is gonna come up, and Ultimate Reed Richards turns into the Maker, so I gotta read the Fantastic Four. And then I was like, I kind of want to read Ultimate X-Men. And so then I was like, okay, that's pretty much. Oh, I skipped Ultimate Elektra and Ultimate Daredevil because those were boring as shit. But for the most part, I'm reading the whole Ultimate Universe. And I was saying that because I stopped reading Ultimate Avengers or the Ultimates. It was just kind of boring. And so, yeah. But then I went, the fucking X-Men was versing the Avengers, so I was like skimming through their shit. So it's been a whole ordeal getting through the Ultimate Universe. And I started this in the first place because I just wanted to read Miles Morales comics. And I was like, damn, I'm a fucking lore guy. I gotta know the backstory and shit. And because before Miles Morales jumps into the 616 universe, from the Ultimate Universe, he had, I don't know how many, but he had quite a few stories in the Ultimate Universe before he made that jump. And so to get everything, all the backstory and where Shield is at that point, and how he ends up, because the Maker, I'm pretty sure, no, it's like the Beyonder, someone is the one that transported him to 616. So I want to get like all the gist with that. And so basically I have to read the whole fucking Ultimate Universe. And then on the last thing was the Spaceman with Adam Sandler. I talked about this before, and it didn't really have that good reviews. I didn't finish it. I'm like 30 minutes in, but I was liking what I've seen so far. It could be kind of boring to some people, but I mean, I was intrigued. I was more like locked in to see like the performance from Adam Sandler. So that's what's keeping me going. Maybe if it wasn't Adam Sandler, I probably would have turned it off. Maybe because I just really liked his more serious performance in Uncut Gems, and that's not the really Adam Sandler I grew up with. Like I grew up with fucking Grown Ups Adam Sandler, and mostly a lot of people. So I don't know, and I don't know if Uncut Gems was like maybe one of his his first like serious roles. I'm honestly not sure, but I just been wanting to see more of that from Adam Sandler. He has a movie Hustler that I think is more serious that I should check out. But yeah, Spaceman didn't have like super good reviews. So I wanted to check it out myself to get my own opinion, but I mean I was liking it so far. I just gotta finish it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the weekly watch list. It's been going for a minute, and I got something to do. So I'll quickly go over this last section, Pondering My Orb. Basically, I guess my thing is just really trying to. Well, I'm just really trying to build myself into the person I know I can become, and this is really overwhelming type shit. And so I didn't even start pondering my orb properly. I'm really apparently trying to end this, but yeah, pondering my orb. This section is just me reflecting on what I got to work on for the week and whatnot, and hopefully in my reflection and me, talking about these things, it helps you reflect and maybe gives you ideas on stuff you want to work on in your life. And so yeah, just trying to build myself into the person that I know I can be the best, be the best person I can be and whatnot. And I see that person very clearly, and I'm just really just trying to take the steps to be that person, bro. But it's a lot. It's overwhelming. So I think my thing is just been trying to focus on one thing at a time, specific area to work on, and not trying to just work on it all at once and just, lose yourself in that and get overwhelmed and burnt out, whatever the case. And so I've been trying to focus on one specific thing, and the specific thing is, like every second counts type shit, like really being biased towards action, that type of beat, and just every second counts when it's time to be on that mindset. Of course, give your brain time to relax and whatever and whatnot, but for the most part, bro, every second counts. Yeah, just like I said, I gotta wrap this up, but follow me on at DS2Smooth on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. That on Twitter is where I'm mainly active at. So, you want to engage in some conversations or whatever on there, or give me a follow and whatnot. Talk about various comic book things and stuff. And then the Twitter for this podcast, which I'm trying to build up and maybe take some questions and whatnot and build a community up on there, is What Did I Miss podcast. And so go check that out on Twitter. The @ will be below, but it's currently DS2Smooth YouTube, or it's DS2 Smooth YT, because it was originally an account for my YouTube, but I changed it to account for this podcast, and so which made more sense to me. And so yeah, go give that a follow. Links will be below. Subscribe to my main YouTube channel at DS2Smooth, where more edited videos are there. About what am I missing something? No, I have a fucking headache now. I'm trying to end this shit. So I'll see you guys. Oh, next week though will be so next week Knox Goes Away comes out, and this one movie with Kristen Stewart, A24 movie that I actually really want to see. And I want to see both these movies, but I might only be able to see one. And if I do see both of them, am I going to review both of them or what? I'm not sure. But there's 2 movies coming out next week that I want to see. So which one I will review remains to be seen. But yeah, I'm really excited for both of them. So regardless, if I only review one, I'll talk about the other in my weekly watch list and give like a mini review. But yeah, I don't know which one I want to see yet. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I have a fucking concert to go to Thursday. And Thursday's like one of the only days I'll be able to go see a movie. Fuck. Damn. All right, I gotta work that out myself. But I will get you guys next week. Next week will be a review. Hopefully. All right, I'll catch you guys next week. See ya.